think we need to make time for Cinder's rap segment. Y'all are not ready for the fire she about to drop. Y'all just not ready. Cinder, take the mic. Yeah. Yeah. I know, Cinder, I know. Little Cinder spitting some truth into the mic. His name is Cream Soda. Hi, I'm a teddy bear. Did you know that? Did you know that? Who is this kitten? Milk Kawasaki!
You killed the Xeno series. Congratulations.
Wow, thank you. No twerking. For me. For me. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake. At the zoo I used to live at, I did not live at the zoo, I worded that wrong. I worded that wrong. It's not what I meant. I think we need to make time for Cinder's rap segment. Y'all are not ready for the fire she about to drop. Y'all just not ready. Cinder, take the mic. Yeah. Yeah. I know, Cinder, I know. Little Cinder spitting some truth into the mic. His name is Cream Soda. Shake, shake, shake. teddy bear. Did you know that? Did you know that? Who is this cute? Milk Kumazaki!
Did you see it? You killed the Xeno series. Congratulations.
Wow, thank you. No twerking. It took me that entire fucking time to try and get VTube Studio to connect to my goddamn computer. Hi Slime, welcome to the stream. Sorry that took a fucking hot second. I was like, why isn't it connecting? Hello? So yeah, I'm here now. I am here now. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, I was counting what I was doing. I also been crocheting a little bit. But yeah, I am here. Hello everybody. I want to try and finish this game, so we're just gonna hop right into it and we will talk as we go. Also, we got an achievement that I didn't notice. We have a couple of achievements. We have the Dana Says Lies. We have that achievement. We have a bunch of these, and only like 20% of players have them, which is so weird to me. And it's just like, it's just reading. Phone just explodes. We go back to PNG. That would be the vibe, huh? That would be the vibe, huh? Which chapter of the first arc are you in? I think. Oopsie. I keep hitting start when I mean to hit. Chiga. I think we're at the end of chapter 9. I think. Yeah, we are. Okay. End of chapter 9, it seems. So, last time, first game, 10th or 11th chapter. Now we're at chapter 10. So, last time we played, Keiichi ate the rice bean paste or whatever. He ate the rice bean mochi and, Reina put sewing needles in it. I missed chapter 8. That's okay. That's okay, the VOD is there. Reina put the sewing needles in them. So yeah, spooky. Tap, tap, tap. The sound of muffled footsteps stopped in front of the door to my room. A moment of silence, as if whomever belonged to was ascertaining whether or not I was inside. Extra fiber and iron supplements. She loves you. Yeah! What happened the last time? I kind of fell asleep. So Keiichi went to get lunch with the detective guy. It's just a recap from last time. He went to get lunch with the detective guy. The detective guy told him that all the murders had something to do with our little gang of friends, right? Satoko and Rika and Reina and Nanka and Mion. And Mion. Gotta be good and go to sleep or catch the VOD. Bye bye, Rodi. Thank you for coming to the stream. Yeah, so, and then the two of them, Mion and Reina, showed up and they were like, what did you have to eat, Keiichi? What did you have to eat, Keiichi? What were you doing? Was your lunch good? We know everything. And then they gave her some rice bean mochi. Ne? And then he ate it and there were sewing needles inside. Reina was stuffing sewing needles inside the mochi. And so he threw them against the wall and then he like ran upstairs to go to bed because he was scared that he was gonna be killed by the Oyashiro-sama next. Yeah, it was a little fucked up. It's a little bit fucked up. So now we don't know. It's a little scary. A little scared. I'm curious to how this is gonna end because I know there's like 14 more there's like 14 games in the series, right? Something like that. So I'm kind of like, I wonder how this is gonna end, this game. I don't know. Get you a girl who kisses you and tries to murder you? Yeah! Like, it's weird that she would like fall in love with him only to like, You might figure it out by the 3rd or 4th arc. We have to play that many of this game. That's too much, guys. That's too much reading. It's too much voice acting, quite frankly. It's not good on my throat. Thanks for the recap. Yeah, no problem. I'm trying to, like, make sure I get all the details in my head right, too. But, yeah, basically, those are the bombshells that were dropped. It's nothing... There weren't any, like, tiny details I missed out on. Yeah, I think... I mean, I'm pretty sure the cop has death flags. We read all the hints, and he has, like, serious death flags. Yeah. Of all the things I should have been doing, I continued on with my restless slumber. I was very much conscious, yet my body hadn't quite caught up yet. Even with the danger bearing down on me from just beyond the door, it was as if I was completely paralyzed, unable to move. Without a doubt, this was sheer terror. Please, just leave. Hey, why isn't my body awake yet? If they came into my room right now, then... Oh. It's just his mom, right? I sprung to my feet and threw my covers at my mom, who was just opening the door. Whoa, Keiichi, what's the matter? Sorry. I was still half asleep. I thought it was still 1 or 2 a.m., but the morning sun was already streaming through the gap between the curtains. It felt nothing like morning. Yesterday I must have fallen asleep right after that. Then I should have gotten a full 10 hours of rest. But it didn't feel like that at all. My internal clock was completely screwed up, and my sense of balance felt off. My sense of balance felt off today, too. I almost tripped getting off the treadmill. I went to the gym, and I went running, and I ran for like 30 minutes. It's a lot of running for me. And when I got off the treadmill, I was like walking. I thought I was walking at a slow pace, but when I got off, I felt dizzy. It was weird. Because it's like you're used to the ground. What % heart rate? I don't know. I didn't do the thing where you put your finger in the thingy. I didn't do that. Did you stretch? Well, I mean, I did like a warm-up walk first. Maybe I should stretch first. I was really scared going in there, though, because that gym is I don't know if I like that gym very much. I don't think I'll go back to that gym. But it's the only one that's open nearby on weekends. But it's kind of scary, because it's like really... I don't know, it's intense in there. It feels intense in there. It doesn't feel casual. So I was kind of nervous and jittery, so I just wanted to... I didn't want to, like, get in anybody's way. I was in and out, basically. I was a little scared. I also didn't realize that, like, in American gyms or whatever, you need to bring your own lock to lock the lockers. Because in Japan, you just put the 100 yen coin in and you take out the key, and that's normally how most lockers in Japan work. Why did gyms in America have that weird lock thing? The guys would protect you. No, the guys are what I was scared of, silly Billy. What if some guy came up and was like, hey, I'd fucking shit myself. I'd cry. I'm scared of gains. I am. We need to be her gym bros. Yeah, I need somebody to show me what to do. You have to bring your own lock? That's weird. Yeah, it is weird. It is weird. Easy reply with, uh-oh, stinky. That's terrible. That's horrible. That's awful. I would never do that. That's terrifying. They don't even let men shower in my gym. There's a shower in the women's locker room, I think. Well, they're probably not going to unless they're on roids. Huh. Well, that's scary. What if they are? There were a lot of, like, buff guys. And I'm like, what if they look at me and they're like, what a fucking loser. She's only running at, like, 5 miles an hour? What a piece of shit. And I'd cry. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at working out. It's scary. I'm so fucking out of shape. I don't like to leave my house. That's how I would feel. Thank you for the follow, yeah. Thank you. Watch out for people recording TikToks. I am scared of that. Like, what's up with people that, like, have to record themselves at the gym? Like, who's that confident? I don't know. Like, it takes a lot of balls. You gotta have all big balls to be recording yourself at the gym, I think. Because, like, I don't know. I feel like that takes a lot. Content brain. Yeah, I don't have it, I guess. Please notice me. I'm doing this exclusively for the gram. Yeah, but, like... Everybody knows what you're doing, and then it's like, wow, do you really think you look good enough to sit in a gym and record yourself? Like, maybe you do, but somebody might think you don't, and then I'd be like, oh god, they think I'm a fat-ass idiot. And most people don't care. Everybody's just minding. Yeah, that's kind of what I noticed. I was like reading things on like what to do when you go to the gym for the first time, like gym etiquette and things, and people were like, oh, nobody really cares because everyone's just kind of focused on themselves. But then I was like, yeah, okay, but what? Like, what if they're like noticing what I'm watching on my phone or something, and they're like, "Well, what a loser" or something? I don't know. It's scary. It's scary. A lot of people there were in your situation when they started. Yeah, that's true. But a lot of people started younger than me, so maybe they're like, oh, well, I was doing this since high school. I'm too old for this. He's watching anime next to the squat rack. Let's give him a wedgie. Yeah, exactly. They don't care as long as they can't hear it. Yeah, there wasn't anybody like blaring music or anything, which is nice. Because if it was like loud in there, then I would have been irritated. That should be the least of your worries. Who cares what other people think? Yeah, that's true, but what if they bother me about it? That's what I'm scared of. Please don't bother me. I will cry. Please don't bother me. I will sob. He's watching anime next to the squat rack. Damn, I want to watch too. I wasn't watching anime. I was just watching YouTube, but maybe I should. That would be kind of funny. It would certainly get me like focusing less on the workout and more on the episode, I bet, if I was sitting there like watching anime. Maybe I ought to. Right, let's continue. I felt feverish enough that it was clear to me that I was not well. Well, Keiichi, how are you feeling? Can you make it to school? I was well enough to go, but I wasn't mentally prepared for it. I was still plagued with the terror from yesterday. If I had swallowed that needle, what would have happened? Or what if it pierced my tongue? It's prison rules at gym. If you make fun of the biggest guy there, then you'll be the scary one. I think they could snap me in half. See, the thing I was like getting like this is kind of like a meathead gym vibes was that like there was like a little sign when you walked in that was showing like who could deadlift the most, because I guess they have deadlift competitions every Friday or something, and so they had like the results, and like number one deadlifted like 600 pounds or something like that. I was like, oh, okay. I don't think this is for me. I need to go to like the like safe gym for people who don't work out much and like do yoga and Pilates. That's what I need. Okay, that's cool. No, it's scary. They could snap me in half like a fucking twig. They could like sling me over their fucking shoulders. Guys doing deadlifts. What if they pick me up? That's scary. You could just like take me away. That's horrifying. I'd cry. There was undoubtedly a murderous attempt, but I don't think that's all it was. Enter the competition. And we have Miru who can deadlift her cat. If they wanted to kill me, then there were other, more certain ways to do it. They wouldn't resort to such a dubious method as having me swallow a needle. Meaning, I didn't want to believe it, but going that far was just a threat from Reina and Mion. You'll never deadlift 600 with that attitude. Is it even possible for a girl to lift that much? Is it possible? Aren't you glad you didn't die? But then next time we'll use a more assured method. Like that. Something like sending a letter with a razor inside would have been a joke compared to this. Did you make it to the hospital? Did you take your medicine? Yeah, kinda. Something about my mom's dubious gaze bothered me. Lucy down lead lifted 700 pounds. Oh. That's a lot. Even so everyone knows, everyone has to start somewhere. Yeah, that's true. I shouldn't be so worried, but sometimes it's a little spooky. She seemed more concerned about her own son missing 2 days of school rather than him being sick. It was definitely mental fatigue. I wasn't physically ill. It'll be hard for you to get back on track once your daily routine is thrown off. Come on, get up. They say wellness is a state of mind. So it was like not swallowing needles too, I guess. I'd heard that line many times before. I was given an award in elementary school for having perfect attendance, but it wasn't like I was healthier than anyone. Come on, go wash your face. Breakfast is already ready. There isn't much time before Dana-chan comes and gets you. Mom's tone meant I couldn't argue about it, so I had to give up on skipping a second day.
By the way, were you the one who got bean paste all over the living room wall, Keiichi? You shouldn't do something like that. Your father was quite angry. I didn't feel particularly guilty for doing it, so I didn't have much of a reaction. Also, Mom didn't question me any further about it.
It does help if you find a gym you're comfortable with. Yeah, I might try a few others and stuff. So, yeah.
She headed back downstairs after she was certain I was getting up. Well, Mion said, as she left yesterday, I'd hate it if you missed school tomorrow. What did she mean by that? I didn't even have to really think about it. She was saying don't be absent. Taking that a bit further was the same as her saying I should just go about living my life as if nothing happened. If I showed any signs of acting unusual, it would probably result in them making their move. For example, maybe I shouldn't pay attention to someone like Oichi-san enticing me with something unusual. Meaning, if I didn't watch my mouth or say anything different from the norm. In effect, it would end up flagging myself as someone who was not wanted. And it seems that was something that the girls didn't intend to forgive. So if I just went along as normal, no harm would come to me. Oh, was that how it was going to be? All that misery I experienced up until yesterday would almost creepily just fade away. It was an enticing deal. Just by forgetting everything I'd seen or heard these past few days, I'd be able to keep living as normal. There's no way such a selfish thing could... I swallowed hard. I once again deliberated on the idea that I'd just rejected. Mion was probably a good person who had her friends at heart. She was just giving me, who had mistakenly broken some rule of theirs, a chance. What I did was really something so unforgivable? But Mion had really given me another chance. She was saying if I just forgot everything and kept on living like I had been, I'd be forgiven. Keiichi, your food is going to get cold. Hurry up and get down here. Dana will be here if you don't hurry. I'm coming. I crammed my textbooks into my bag and hastily made my way downstairs. I don't see the issue here. Why doesn't he tell his parents? This is always the thing in, like, horror movies and stuff where, like, there's kids as the protagonist. Like, why don't they just say something to anyone? Just say something. Anything. Just say anything. Just say something. Like, it's not that hard. You just be like, hey, by the way. Like, is it that hard? I picked up my somewhat bland breakfast. It seemed that I didn't have much time. It was already past when I usually met up with Dana. Kids are dumb. I think it just makes it more dramatic. I don't know. Like, always in horror movies where, like, bad stuff happens while the parents are away. Yeah, like, just tell them that this town is fucked up and weird. Like, by the way, Mom, you know, like, strings of murders happened to all the outsiders that move here. Right now, he thinks what he knows is making him a target. He could be trying to keep them safe. Yeah, but we don't really know that. I feel like every time, like, the idea of telling somebody about this stuff comes up, it's always like, oh. Like, it's just as simple as moving back to the city. Like, go into witness protection. Fucking hell. I know the police here is incompetent, but I don't know. Keiichi might be worried his fam would think he's the crazy one. Yeah, I guess so, but, like, I don't know. If I was a parent and my kid was genuinely distressed about something like that, I would do what I could to get them out of the environment that's making them upset, even if they're going crazy. Given yesterday's events, she'd probably be here in the next 5 minutes. I needed to be ready to head to school by then. I had to forget everything that happened the past 2 days. Forget it all and return to my normal life. For this to be normal, I'll have to be where I normally meet up with Dana. Today of all days, the rice was dry and hard to get down. Ding dong! I jumped at the sound and dropped my chopsticks. That chime signaled that Dana had arrived. Mom hurried me along. Come on, Dana's already here. Hurry, hurry! My mother's merry smile and my gloomy face were polar opposites. Honestly, I was reluctant to see Dana, who was always waiting there on the other side of the door. The Dana on the other side. Was it the Dana I knew? I couldn't keep her waiting. I needed to do things as usual. Morning! An invigorating greeting filtered in from across the doorway. I came since Keiichi was a bit late. Will he be okay today, I wonder? I wonder? The manner with which Dana was concerned was, without a doubt, the Dana I knew. But that was probably only if I reciprocated. Forget everything from yesterday. Just pretend as though nothing had happened. Forget about the gruesome dismemberment. Forget about the mysterious deaths that happened in the following years. Forget about the people falling to their death and the terminal illness and suicide and the lynching and the disappearances. Forget it. Forget all of it. Forget that Dana and Mion were scary. Of course, forget it all. Forget about everyone. Forget about the mochi, too. Forget, forget, forget. Dana, once again, asked to make sure. Can you make it to school? Yeah, I'm fine. Great! Then let's go. Mi-chan is waiting. Thug that shit out! It is what it is. Dana showed me her usual bright smile. I couldn't find any hint of deceit in her expression. My nervousness disappeared, giving way to relief. Bree, bree, bree. But you see, Satoko-chan was so insistent she could do it. As we were rocking, Dana talked about lots of different stuff. More so than usual. Then? Satoko-chan's so clumsy. She fell no matter how many times she tried. Oh, she was so cute. Everything Dana talked about was just silly nonsense, so I replied every so often and laughed from time to time. It was a rather laid-back conversation. Hey, like, by the way, I ate your mochi. We passed one of the neighbors and they called back out to us. Oh my, Keiichi and Dana-chan, aren't you two a bit late today? Mion-chan said she was going on ahead. Uh-oh, did Mi-chan look mad, I wonder? We need to hurry it up, Kei-chan. As we smiled and parted ways with our neighbor, they turned back toward me and stuck out a tongue. Not expecting that, I couldn't help but crack a smile. I got it. Keiichi-kun smiled. What? Dana stopped walking and stared at me. I was thinking you still hadn't recovered from your cold since you seemed down this morning, Keiichi-kun. But now you seem fine. Fine! With a grin, she gently poked my cheek. It was a bright, sincere smile. Hey, Keiichi Maebara. How can you still doubt Dana after she shows you a smile like that? Maybe I just had a high fever up until today, and I just imagined everything that I thought happened because I was bedridden and delirious? I really hoped that was the case. If God would grant me just one wish, there's only one thing I would wish for. I would want what happened in the past few days. More specifically, from the night of the Watanagashi up until last night. I wanted all of that to never have happened. I just wonder how many times I'd wished for these past few days. As long as Dana kept smiling like this, I think it might just become reality. So I wanted Dana to keep on smiling. Keep on smiling. So, Keiichi-kun. Damn it. Those mochi yesterday, did you eat them all? That vain wish of mine was instantly shattered. My heart began palpitating. The relaxed morning mood suddenly became frigid. Dana's smile was the same as her usual. Her eyes were gentle as usual. Those mochis yesterday, did you eat them all? Of course she wasn't asking the question at face value. In other words, Dana was asking, did you get the message? She was probably trying to convey that. Keiichi-kun. I was reluctant to give an answer. Dana stopped walking and stared deeply into my eyes. Don't hesitate, Keiichi Maebara. Dana was acting the same as always, wasn't she? I needed to respond in my usual way. Naturally, of course. Both my throat and my mouth had gone dry, and my lips were stuck together. Hurry and answer, Keiichi. Not that much time has passed. I could still keep the conversation going naturally. I had to say something quickly. Dana playfully mimicked what I had said until I finally squeaked something out. Dana's reaction was still normal. It seemed there wasn't a long pause as I had thought. Somehow, I finally squeaked out the rest. Delicious! However, my strained efforts neither sullied nor brightened Dana's expression. For a moment I panicked, thinking I had replied incorrectly. But after a few moments, Dana broke into her usual soft smile and giggled with a joyful voice that seemed to echo throughout the morning air. Being strung along by that laugh, I couldn't help but laugh as well. I see! So did you eat all of them, I wonder? I wonder? My timid smile froze again. Did you make it without swallowing the needle? Was that what she was asking about? If I had swallowed it, then I wouldn't have been here. Nah, I couldn't finish all of them. There's still some left. I was scared out of my wits, but that's how I played it. Huh? What about the homework to see if you could tell which one Dana made? That homework, was it due today? Yeah, it's due today. Me-chan will get angry. There's probably a penalty game ready for you. You just answer without knowing, right? We laughed at each other again. To a casual observer, it was just a typical morning. If I could just let myself believe, then I'd even think that it was going to be a more usual morning routine. But I was certain I wasn't mistaken. There was something unimaginable buried beneath the facade of this giggling Dana. Lies! I recalled that unexpected, piercing voice that I could hardly believe came from Dana's mouth. The moment that image crossed my mind, I felt a cold sweat trickle down my back. Was it only that particular time that something evil had possessed Dana? No, that was wrong. It was still Dana. Oishi-san told me. Hadn't he? Actually, I looked into her before. That Ryugi-san moved away from Hinamizawa, or to Hinamizawa. She was suspended from school. It seems she went through her school building and broke all of the windows. Dana had a disorder that normal people didn't. No matter how pleasantly she smiled, that fact could not change. But how could I even imagine? How she looked as she broke all the glass. I couldn't even imagine how she looked as she broke all the glass throughout the school. One thing I knew was that it wasn't something spur of the moment. But it was a sudden outburst of anger, that maybe she'd break a pane or two. But if she broke all of the windows throughout the school, just imagine going to your own school and breaking all the windows with a bat. Swinging full force at each pane of glass, one after another, paying no heed to the flying shards, your classmates aghast, unable to move from the sudden turn of events. I wonder what she could have found the most windows lined up in a row. Probably the hallway. Walk, wind up. Walk, wind up. Maybe she smelled a gas leak. What a hero. That's exactly what it is. She saved them, and they're ingrateful. Oyashiro-sama saved them. It was difficult to imagine It was difficult for me to connect that horrifying image with the Dana smiling at me right now, but I just had to imagine it. Impossible because it was unimaginable. That naive way of thinking no longer worked. The unpleasant, piercing sound of shattered glass, the broken, crunching noise as Dana treads across the broken shards, walking towards me. Dana's classmates going pale as they forget even to breathe. I wondered what they did as Dana came closer, raking windows along her path. Did they earnestly try and bring her to her senses by saying something? Or did they jump at her, trying to stop her savagery? Or did they run to the staff room after being directed there by the teachers? Probably none of those. The face of that blood-curdling sight of Dana, busting window after window, undoubtedly. All they could do was silently clear a path for her, dumbfounded, just clearing the path for Dana to continue. It was far too violent an act for them to seek refuge by looking the other way. It's not like they were looking the other way. That's not to say they were looking the other way. They were doing the only thing they could to protect themselves.
It's not like she shot up a school. She's just breaking windows. Why is this so serious? I mean, who hasn't wanted to go at all their school's windows with a bat? She's probably just frustrated that she got, bad grades. There's nothing wrong with her.
They may have suddenly found themselves Dana's new target. What would have happened? What would Dana have done to whoever attracted her attention? The answer was obvious.
I've never gotten expelled, just for the record. I'm a very good straight A student.
She would have undoubtedly acted according to her whims. Meaning, I would, be the next window. Dana staring into my eyes, shards of glass crackling, crunching underfoot as she drew closer. I was also drawn into her eyes, paralyzed.
Definitely normal behavior, lies. Well, Dana said that to us because we were lying, so she has every right to say that. So you've never been caught?
Then Dana struck me with the bat over and over again, like I was one of those windows.
Wait, is this happening, or is he just imagining this?
I crouched down on the floor, desperately protecting my head. Dana didn't care whether it was my head or my back. Zealously, she hits me again and again.
Is this actually happening? What's going on?
What kind of expression was she making as she was doing this over and over again? I peered up to see. Her expression was so indifferent. It was completely unnerving. It's because no matter how many times she struck me, I didn't make as pleasant a sound as the other windows. Is this really happening? She struck me continuously, over and over again. The sound Dana wanted didn't come out. Our classmates standing around didn't even try and stop her. They didn't want to be the next window. Somebody save me. Turning a blind eye unless we're hanging out. But of course, everyone in class scrambled to obtain the highest standardized test scores. They'd gain nothing from saving a cram school tryhard like me. Eventually there'd be a faint sound, similar to when you crack open a walnut. Some sort of reddish-black spray would shoot out. Again, it wasn't that Lena momentarily lost herself in anger. After forcing myself to breathe and calming my heart, I recalled what Oishi-san said to me. And in the counselor's medical report, he recorded all the conversations he had with Dana-san. It shows up, and quite a bit at that. What does? She mentioned the word Oyashiro-sama.
Is he just like fucking imagining this? I'm so confused right now. He's LARPing. Come on, don't try and make yourself the victim yet. You haven't died yet, bud.
Following that, Dana surrendered and had regular examinations at the hospital. Then, as Dana was undergoing counseling, she said it. Over and over.
He was imagining getting beat up, but not the cop memory. Well, yeah, I remember that happening.
He's delirious, letting it all get to him? Okay. It seems that the Oyashiro-sama she spoke of was like a ghost, appearing in her house every night. Standing over her pillow and looking down at her. That was only a piece of their conversation, so I could still see the big picture, but by no means was it a happy little conversation. Then what Dana did. Was she saying that ghastly incident was the result of her being possessed by Oyashiro-sama? Up until now, I didn't want to believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse. That's why I wanted to say the mysterious deaths that happened every year was because of some sort of conspiracy. Every time I talked with Oishi-san, I was more certain that the deaths were work of men and not some curse. Except if it was people perpetuating the incidences, my friends were somehow deeply connected. I refused to believe that the curse was real. Then I would have to believe that those who acted the kindest to me were deeply involved in the incidents.
Well, Mion definitely is. I don't know what Dana's deal is.
Why?
You don't just doze off in the distance mid-conversation and think up intricate lore of a story you just made up? Oh, I do. I absolutely do. But in this instance, I think Casey's just like, grow up. Come on. She's not going to kill you. She's a dainty thing. Casey could fight back. I know she's supposed to be really strong, but she's still tiny. And she seems, like, thin. So not, like, all muscle or anything. You could fight back. No, he can't. Casey has ADHD. Everything is fine. Yeah. That's just when you're terrified of someone, you picture what they might do to you. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I understand, but... like, right now? We're not even at school yet, bro.
Why? How? For what reason? Was Dana? Was everybody?
What if she has a weapon? You could probably disarm her somehow. I think Casey is afraid she's gonna beat him up in an arm wrestling match, but with weapons. You just have to disarm her, bro.
It was much more painful and troublesome than accepting that it was just Oyashiro-sama's curse. In the aftermath, Dana admitted to her doctor that it was because she was possessed by Oyashiro-sama. I felt a strange sense of relief from that. So that's how it was. There wasn't a second side to Dana. She did that because she was possessed by something strange like Oyashiro-sama. It wasn't Dana's fault. Oyashiro-sama was the one to blame. I knew this was all backwards. Refusing to believe that there was a curse, I wanted there to be a human perpetrator. Now my close friends are the one under suspicion. I changed my beliefs at my own convenience, saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse to blame, which was a better choice. Accepting Oyashiro-sama's curse exists, or that Dana and the rest of them were deeply involved in the string of mysterious deaths.
Hey, two things can be true at once, Keiichi.
I don't want to think about it. If I just didn't think about it, I'd be able to continue the same as always. I just wanted to believe that. But that was no longer possible. I had received their message. It was pathetic of me to try and bend the meaning to my own convenience. Regardless of my opponent being a human or a curse, I won't let it kill me. As if I would just bend over and give in. For no good reason at all. Keiichi-kun, you've been making a really weird face. Why, I wonder? I wonder. Nande kana? Kana? Inhaling sharply upon hearing Dana's voice, I came back to my senses. Before I had realized it, we were already at the entrance. Shaking my head a few times, I exercised all those terrifying thoughts. No matter how you looked at it, there's no way Dana could have done such terrible things. It was like I was trying to placate myself. Satoko. Nani shitteru no? As I slid the door open, a blackboard eraser loaded with chalk dropped in my head at the moment I stepped into the classroom. Chalk dust went into my eyes, inducing a brief moment of agony. Oh, how befitting for the truant Keiichi-san. Good morning to both of you, Keiichi, Dana. Good morning, Satoko-chan, Rika-chan. Not quite in the mood for it. I didn't really react to Satoko's trap. Satoko braced herself as I passed by, expecting me to attack her. She seemed a bit disappointed as I simply walked by silently. What's this? How discouraging indeed. Keiichi doesn't seem to be back to his usual self yet. Yeah, take it easy on him today, okay? Suddenly there was a slap down on my shoulder. It hurt a bit. Hey, Kei-chan, did you get enough rest? It was Mion. My mind was full of the stuff about Dana, but Mion was also a party of interest. Remember, Keiichi, that hawkish gaze from yesterday? Yeah, morning. What's with that unenergetic greeting? Did you eat the mochi I brought you? Because I ate them, I'm like this. Those words were itching to be blurted out. I just really didn't have the appetite. I ate a few, but quite a lot were left over. Huh? What about the homework? Do you have an answer for which one was Dana's? I can't believe you'd forget your homework, Keiichi-kun. Sheesh, then we can't help it. Time for your penalty. Flashing a lurid smile, Mion returned to her seat. The penalty is death. There was nothing from our exchanges that would cause our classmates to suspect anything was amiss. But of course, anyone listening to our conversations up until this morning wouldn't see anything suspicious. That was why it was so frightening. They acted in that way, regardless of whether it happened to Keiichi Maebara. No one would ever suspect them. That fact had me terrified. Soon the teacher came. After she asked how I felt and took attendance, another ordinary, dull day began. Hi, ISL. Welcome to the stream. Alright, we reached the halfway point for this chapter. Wait. It's interesting, but Keiichi's just going crazy now, I think. Kind of interesting to see, like, how his mental state is deteriorating. These fucking girls are mind-breaking him. This free study period was a convenient time to consider where I stood. I gently closed my eyes to ponder the ridiculous position I was in right now. More fucking... First of all, what I shouldn't forget was how dangerous the situation I was in. I'd fallen out of favor with them. After interacting with Oishi-san multiple times, I could see it was just getting closer to the heart of the matter. The warning yesterday with the mochi was a good indicator of that. No, calling it a warning was just my habit of understating things. It probably had no meaning behind stunting my progress and buying themselves some time. Until they had a method of completely erasing me, they were just biding their time. Even though they were keeping me under their thumb with threats, it didn't change the fact that I knew too much. The chilling sensation of my desk made me recall Satoshi Hojo, the boy who disappeared in this seat last year. Who was using the seat until last year when he disappeared. I drank water. Was he also similar to me? Did he learn something he shouldn't have and was erased? Damn. I wouldn't let them get rid of me so easily. But yeah, we're ignoring the fact that Satoshi is related to... Satoshi Hojo... Satoko Hojo... They're related. Never. But were they really trying to kill me? I had all these contradictory feelings for a while now. Even though I suspected them, I felt I had to cover for them. With all their suspicious behavior, a warning like this just made it seem like an elaborate hoax. No, that's just what they want me to believe. Doubting my friends. Covering for them. My life was in danger. Or was it? Actually, I was debating the wrong point. Given my current situation, those points were something I should have deliberated on a long time ago. It was just a prank. Yeah. But really, Dana and the rest of them, were they really aiming to kill me? A little voice inside me continued to torment me with these unresolvable trains of thought. Well, I don't think Satoko and Rika are bad. I don't think Satoko and Rika are bad. Because they were both, like, really involved with the incidents, but, like, they were partially victims as well. So, it's more like Mion and Dana are maybe the bad guys. Biting the needles wouldn't kill you. If you swallowed a needle, it could. It'd get jam in your throat. It'd be a really painful way to die. I mean, you could definitely live it, but it would definitely also could kill you. Nah. Are you an idiot, Keiichi Maebara? The answer should be obvious. But maybe that sewing needle just might have been an accident. There were multiple, Keiichi! How could you screw up dropping a piece of sewing needle into a piece of mochi? The benefit of the doubt can only go so far. Yeah, but who wolfs down without chewing like that? He said he, like, felt it when he, like, bit down. Guys, distract me too. I'm gonna hide cream soda as a prank. Fuck yeah! Well, Dana and Mion had acted and behaved suspiciously. I don't chew my mochi. Well, then the needle could still, like... Could a sewing needle, like, when it passes through your colon, couldn't it, like, tear your colon open, technically? Like, that could happen, right? Or would you just shit out a needle like normal? Can you shit out a needle? Is it possible? Is it possible? It could cause internal bleeding, but you can survive and get some surgery before death. Maybe your stomach acid would dissolve it? Oh yeah, your stomach acid. Yeah, could it rupture your stomach? Yeah, but a sewing needle's so big you'd stab... Sewing needles are not that big. If it was like a sewing machine needle, those are pretty short, actually. And, like, they're tiny needles. That's your esophagus, though? Also, hey, hi! But yeah, like, stomach acid can't melt metal. Well, I don't know that. I've never eaten metal. So, yeah, I think if you swallowed a sewing needle, it could kill you. I think that's definitive, guys. I don't think that's like a matter of... I don't know. Try it with Penny. Copper supplement. Test it. No! I'm not gonna die. Your esophagus squeezes food as it goes down. It would get pierced. Yeah, okay. Can. One guy ate scissors and a lot of things. Well, yeah, you could probably live it. I'm just saying it could also probably kill you. Could eating a sewing needle kill you? I'm like 80% sure the answer is yes. What happens if you swallow a sewing needle? Usually it happens with children when they swallow objects unintentionally, they don't know what it, blah blah blah. Sewing needles can be more dangerous than you think. If it's small, it may pass through your intestines and you're out of danger. On the contrary, if it gets stuck in your food pipe or intestines, your life is in danger. See? Okay, I was right. So you could shit it out, technically, but you could also, it could also, like, pierce your esophagus. There's a Batman comic where Joker chews up a light bulb and then spits the glass into the asylum warden's sandwich and he eats it without knowing. That's fucked up. What? As a sword eater professional of misinformation sounds safe to me. How do sword eaters do it? They have to probably, like, if you're a sword eater, you have to, like, be really careful, right? There's probably a science to it. Dude, why would the Joker do that? That's so mean. That's fucked up. I thought he was just a funny guy. Both Dana and Mion had acted suspiciously. Maybe it was some sort of misunderstanding. What kind of misunderstanding? It wasn't just suspicious, it was out like ludicrous. Ludicrous, right? I'm sure he's just joking. Yeah, it's just a prank. He's just pranking. Luckily, I'm not actually a sword eater. Well, now I want to know. Sword eatings are chill. Yeah, you can eat a sword. That's fine. Now, how do they do it? I thought they just, like, put it in their throat and then they pull it back out, right? I feel like this, even if the stomach can dissolve metal, it takes longer than food would. Yeah, so your body just kind of, like, processes things, right? It's not like it would, like, give the needle extra time. Ludicrous. It's hard to say things. That was ludicrous, right? Dana just corrected me for lying, and Mion only asked me about what I had for lunch. This guy is coping so fucking hard. Oh my god. Dana was standing outside your door eavesdropping for a good hour, you know. She was probably just waiting for my phone call to end. For a whole hour outside your room? And is it normal for someone to go home without saying anything? You heard from Moichi-san, didn't you? About what Dana did at her former school? But at the hospital, she said it was Oyashiro-sama's fault. Cut it out, Keiichi Maebara. Don't you realize they're out to kill you? I had inadvertently blurted those words out loud. Hearing myself say that so directly left me dumbfounded for a few moments. Afterwards, I had to check around to see if anyone else heard it. My little soliloquy cut a little too close to the truth. Even though I could feel the murderous intent from Dana and the others, part of me somewhere was still trying to deny that.
Wait, so did everybody else hear him say that, or what? I thought the swords trick is that the swords they eat, like, roll up? I don't know. How does it work? Somebody here has to know how it works. Who eats swords? Sword eaters of Komodachi.
This late in the game, such hesitation could be fatal.
Yeah, it is late in the game. Hurry your ass up and stop fucking humming and hawing. You're not a philosopher, Keiichi.
But I was just your average student, a man living his normal, ordinary life. Do you think I could suddenly believe that my friends, who I'd been happily laughing together with up until last Sunday, now intend to kill me? You're too soft, Keiichi. This time I remembered to keep my voice down so only I could hear it. There was one thing I now understood. I was too soft. I didn't completely understand how dangerous Dana and the rest of them were. No, I wasn't trying to understand. I was too soft for not listening to Oishi-san when he was earnestly showing me the heart of the matter. I didn't listen because I was too busy pretending to be dejected. I didn't comprehend it.
Sword swallowing requires deliberate relaxation of the upper gastrointestinal tract. What do you just tell it to stop? The performer tilts their head back and extends their neck to align their mouth with their esophagus and straighten up their pharynx. The sword has to pass through the upper esophagus, esophageal. How do you learn to do that without room for... Yeah, that's what I'm wondering, is like how many dudes died trying to figure out whether or not you could swallow swords. It's like what I wonder when people are like, yeah, this thing you eat is actually super dangerous except for these like 3 parts, like pufferfish. How did people fucking... Like how many people died trying to figure out which parts of the pufferfish you could safely eat or not? There's specialty swords for it. They do it very gradually. Oh, you probably start with like rounded rods. What's so really hurt? Like who would want to do that? I don't know. Hi, Heji. Hisashiburi na. Welcome to the stream. Guess people had to fugu around and find... Oh, but good one. I like it. I didn't listen because blah, blah, blah. I already read this part. I didn't comprehend it, so nobody had any notion to try and kill me. I needed to get rid of such naive thoughts. As I made the resolution, I heard the bell signaling the end of class. So soon. The day was already over. I didn't recall eating lunch or doing anything in classes. My friends were putting their desks together in preparation for club activities. Not long ago, I would have happily jumped into that circle. There's probably some weird people in the world who could do something, who learned they could do something, and I was like, I bet I could do X with the skill. Yeah, like people who are like, I could swallow a lot. My, Keiichi-san, how rude of you to even think about leaving. The way Satoko spoke was so typical and familiar, I almost physically hurt. Huh? Keiichi-san is today not a good day, I wonder? And we were going to been big together. Aww. Seeing Dana's expression, which said she was really looking forward to today, was hard to take. Hey, Keiichi. Maybe Oishi-san is just some enormous jerk trying to separate me from the others and not lying to me. Slap! Trying to expunge such weak-minded thinking, I slapped myself in the face. Keiichi-kun! Yeah, was Reina really trying to kill me? I wish someone would just tell me it was a hoax. I didn't care if it actually was one or not. I just wanted someone to say it was. Ugh, yet another weak-willed thought. However did I become this naive? Are you alright? Does your head hurt? Apparently that was how my inner dilemma appeared to Dana. You're pale! Can you make it home by yourself? Maybe I should accompany you home, I wonder. No, it's okay. Sorry. I can get home by myself. Just have the meeting without me. Upon hearing I wasn't going to participate in the club meeting, Mion pouted unhappily.
Since Kei-chan was so bent on a revenge match, we were even going to play that deduction game from before, too. Kei-chan doesn't have the burning desire for a rematch. How pathetic. I wouldn't fall for some dumb taunt. Even without a real retort, I just grabbed my bag and was getting up. Someone's hand gently perched itself on top of my head. Keiichi doesn't seem to be well. How very unfortunate. It was Rika-chan. I trust in Rika and Satoko. I don't think that they're bad. I think it's Reina and Mio. Because why would they have, like, interest in trying to kill? Like, it's something Keiichi's been ignoring this whole time, but Satoko and Rika were victims in a sense, too. Like, she lost her mom and her older brother, and then her, like, uncle and stuff, right? Ri-chan? And then Satoko lost her... Yeah, and then Satoko lost her family as well. So... It's very... maybe they could be, like, potential targets, too, in a sense. Like, they were related. Rika and Satoko lost pretty much everyone to whatever's happening. Yeah! So, I think, honestly, they're much less likely to be trying to kill him. He needs to protect the Rory. It felt so nice, which made things even harder. Sorry, everybody. See you. That's all I said as I quickly left the classroom. They said something to me as I was leaving, but I couldn't make it out. I managed to make it all the way to the entrance in that state of mind. Took out my shoes, put them on, and went forward. Forward. Harden that heart, Keiichi Maebara. They were, for some unfathomable reason, trying to kill me. They were plotting something dubious, watching my every move. But I couldn't hate them, because aren't they my friends? Part of me lamented my naivete, while another part of me lamented the fact that I had lost something important by lamenting over it in the first place. It felt like my consciousness was being ripped out of my body. If this is what Oyashiro-sama's curse was like, then it was just too harsh. Hey, Oyashiro-sama, I was wrong for not believing in your curse. But I believe in it now. Completely. Your curse does exist. So seriously, give me a break. I beg of you, come on. Dinner was unusually bland. It had no flavor or aroma. The miso soup that normally tantalized my appetite instead tasted like nothing but boiled water. Dad was eating with us that night. It was a rare occurrence in this household. When he got into his work, he ate and slept on his own schedule. My dad never cared about the time. Keiichi, it's called yeah, I was thinking, like, is he okay? I mean, I guess I wouldn't be either if I was in his situation. Although I'd probably, like, just get up and run away. Like, fuck it. I'm going back to Tokyo, bitch. I'll become a Toyoko kid if it means I don't get murdered. Since my dad was just at the dinner table, it either meant that he had just reached a good point to take a break or was in a slump. So yeah, he just doesn't understand the motivation creators have. Your partnership was just a verbal agreement, wasn't it? If it's so hard to agree on things, why not just end it? I feel like it's an industry with a lot of back scratching. But when it gets in the way of business... I wasn't able to pick out much about my mom and dad's conversation, but I could tell it wasn't a very pleasant topic. That, of course, made the disgusting food even less appealing. Staring listlessly at the exchange between my parents, my mind wandered off to the same thought processes I'd had all day long. Dude, can you stop fucking waning and waxing about this shit and just get murdered already? I'm getting bored! This is part of the VN where the creators insert their industry politics. Hey, good for them. They're allowed to, I think. Friends close to me. No, they used to be friends, but I could no longer trust them. Right now I was greatly lacking in allies. People I trusted, people I could depend on when push came to shove. They were like something I just didn't have. Having one ally would have been incredibly reassuring in the current hopeless situation I was in. Hi, Professor Water. I just took a sip of water, so yes, I am. I put down my chopstick and looked over to my parents. They were still talking about work. The first course of action that came to mind was to tell my parents everything. Currently, there wasn't a single person from Minamizawa I could trust 100%. That meant only the people I could trust were my parents. But if I told them everything that happened up until now, would they understand? Dana, for example. That neighborly Dana who was so diligent in looking after me, came to get me every day, and sometimes even brought over a share of what she made. Proud of you. Thank you! How could I explain that she wanted to kill me? No matter how I explained it, it would probably just be difficult for anybody to comprehend. My somewhat eccentric dad wouldn't understand. My high-strung mom would probably just drag me off to a psychiatrist in the blink of an eye. Sadly, that was the amount of trust that existed in our relationship. Even if they did come to understand, what could they possibly do? Even if they could uncover the truth, they wouldn't be able to protect me. No, by informing them of these unnecessary things, I'd just be putting my parents in danger as well. Considering that the victims in past incidences were often married couples, I couldn't even joke about it. For the entire Mayabata family to have an accident or just vanish into thin air, it was extremely possible in Hinamizawa. What was important here was knowing that knowing something unnecessary put you in danger. The most unsettling question was, how did they know that I knew? As long as they didn't know, my parents might not fall victim. That was one way to think about it, I guess. At least it was like that in my case. After I found out, things started becoming odd. In other words, it meant the following. How does there, no news reports? When you look up stuff about this town, has nobody, has this, the stories of people going missing and, the curse of the Yashiro-sama not become, tabloid newsworthy? They said that there were newspapers about it, so, I don't know. Do these parents not do fucking research before moving out to this fucking tiny-ass... Remember the confidentiality report? Yeah, but it didn't give, a date, though, really. The police, I thought that was now. I thought it was now. It takes place in the 80s, right? Yeah. I thought it was, they, classified it or made it confidential, currently. Before the internet, stuff didn't go as viral as easily. Yeah, but, word of mouth has always been a thing. Oh, yeah, that town's super cursed. I went there once, and, I got weird vibes from everybody there. Oh, I heard if you go there, you die. Tomitaki-san, he has to have parents and friends and coworkers that live outside the village. And then once they start talking, maybe somebody has heard something about, the initial dam protests. Because apparently the dam protests, they went all the way up to, the national, level, right? Yeah, people in the 80s just kind of went missing all the time. I guess, but I feel for all the reports to be congested in this one village, really, is it impossible for people to, learn about this shit before they come here? I don't know. In other words, it meant the following. As long as my parents didn't know anything, nothing would happen to them. As long as my parents were here, this house would be a safe haven for them. I knew that these were just assumptions based on conjecture. It's almost like there's a conspiracy. Well, yeah, there definitely is, but, I don't know. What about this conspiracy is, stopping people from outside the town of learning from it? They said there were reporters all around around Hinamizawa after the Watanagashi. People only go missing once a year. It's paradise in Hinamizawa. Was it really that bad? Wanting this house to be a safe haven, that was pinnacle of my weak-willed method of thinking. I had to concede that it was not completely safe. It was only safer than the outside. I knew that I couldn't rely on my parents. No, I couldn't risk getting my parents involved. The only person who could be my ally would be Oishi-san. Him and him alone. He was the only person who understood the situation I was in. He didn't care so much about my safety, but he was without a doubt passionate about solving this case. I feel like this game, okay, right now, nothing is happening. It's just him fucking repeating what, we already know and what we can already well assume about the characters. We already had the conversation about the parents, and we were like, oh, well, X, Y, and Z is why he wouldn't tell them. And then he comes out and he has to tell us all about it. I don't know. Show don't tell, right? We can move on with the plot. I'm tired of hearing his, fucking wanking. Just die already. Lore! Also, hi, Monarch. Keiichi needs to rehash it a dozen times to exhibit his circular thinking. Yeah, yeah, he really is just thinking about the same things. No way they would want to kill me. Well, no, wait, no, they do want to kill me. The writer really likes doing that. It's just kind of annoying. It was a bit frustrating. Oishi-san was basically the whole reason I was in this mess, and I have to get out of it, meaning that it was all according to his devices. It just took my job as appetizing while bobbing the waves as bait. Then, when the fish started gathering around, Oishi-san would pull the big haul. It was slightly infuriating, but even I thought that was the best course of action, so then what should I do? Patience was the first rule of fishing. Just keep waiting until the fish actually bites, but it simply wasn't bait. There were lots of ways for me to struggle before being devoured. When they struck, I needed to somehow dodge it just enough and tag out to Oishi-san. Not to mention it was going to be hard. The timing to bring Oishi-san in would be difficult. He was in the city, not in Hinamizawa, so if I phoned him in my moment of need, it would take him about 30 minutes to reach me. So I needed to run for those 30 minutes. For example, if we set up a rendezvous point for dire situations or something, I'd just have to hide out there until Oishi-san arrived. Okay, I can almost see it now. I was still being chased around in the dark by boogeymen, but now I knew which way to go. I would never have imagined this would be so reassuring. Oh yeah, it would probably be for the best if I concealed the weapon for when things got rough. Typically, that would be called for a switchblade, but that wasn't too reassuring for combat. Also, since it was recognized as a weapon in the public, that also wasn't good. When the time comes, a long weapon like a bat would work in my favor. I remember there was a metal bat at school. I should be confident with that when push came to shove. If I pretended I was practicing my swing, then it wouldn't be suspicious for me to always carry it around. Then I could go to school tomorrow and secure it. Just possessing a weapon might be enough to deter them. Also, one more thing, insurance. It could be something like a note or a memo. I could write down everything that's happened in some sort of journal. In case I suddenly vanished, the journal would be left behind. With my journal in his possession, Oishi-san would be able to avenge my death. I left my parents engrossed in their conversation about work and went back to my room. Immediately going 3 times as fast and there's no cute and funny on screen. Yeah, you've lost the hook. There's no more lollies. Like, where'd they go? I tore out a piece of paper from a notebook and made my way to my desk. Last time I wrote a journal was for summer homework in elementary school. In the off chance something bad happened, the police could use my diary as a lead, so I should write down only the facts. How should I start? I jotted down my thoughts as they came. I, Keiichi Mayabara, am in fear for my life. It made me laugh nervously. It was a line that showed up often in detective stories. I never even dreamed that I would be the type of situation to write it myself. I do not know why they were after my life. Dana and the others were suspicious, but I had no proof, and that's why I couldn't write anything more. I laughed wryly at myself for writing such a passage draped in mystery. Hi, Koe. Welcome to the stream. Does she like me? Nah. Wait, maybe, but replace it with kill, and it's the same. Yeah, it is. And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm waiting for the scary things to happen. No. I left Riley and myself for writing the passage draped in mystery. Would the police be able to get the hint from reading this enigmatic passage? I could only pray that they would. What I prayed for the most, though, was that this journal never needed to play its part. Here I laughed nervously. It was too simple. I wrote down one more line just as I thought of. The only thing I do know is that it has to do with Oyashiro-sama's curse. Was that too much? I probably shouldn't write any more than that. If I wrote any more, then it would just seem that I was delusional. In order to appear to the reader that the person who had written this was in a sound state of mind, I chose not to write anything else about that point. Why don't you just say, it's Mion and Dana. They're going to kill me. This is stupid. You already sound fucking dumb for writing about the curse to begin with. Why don't you write about Mion and Dana? Those are people. I just need to add more as I learned about the truth. I folded the paper and brought it to a place to hide it. By hiding it somewhere obvious, there was a chance that they wouldn't cover it instead. On the other hand, if it was too obscure of a location, then there was a risk of nobody finding it at all. In the end, I decided to take all the clock off my wall and folded the note in the back with scotch tape. After that, I put the clock back in its normal position. Yeah, it didn't look like anything was hidden behind it. Now I just needed to set it up so if anything happens to me, my parents could find it. I looked at it countless different angles until I was satisfied and made my way downstairs. Hey, Mom, if I die, look behind the clock. My parents were still talking about work. It didn't look like it was going to end anytime soon, so I cut in. Sorry to interrupt. I have something I want to talk to you about. I never started off a conversation like that before, so my parents are both startled. They stopped talking and turned towards me. What is it, Keiichi? I have a favor to ask of both of you, so please listen. Just in case, yeah? If it's not urgent, then can we do this later? Right now, Mommy and Daddy have Mom and Dad have something urgent they're talking about. I didn't think their talk was more urgent than mine. In any case, I stated my request. Just in case, okay? If I die, both my parents went, like, this is stupid. I don't want to tell my parents in case I endanger them. But also, in case I die, Mom. Both my parents' eyes went wide as saucers. If I die, I want you to pull the clock on my wall, put the clock on my wall in my coffin. If they did that, then they'd probably find it in my memoir. Both my parents remained wide-eyed, not moving an inch. I couldn't blame them. I made that clock in shop class, and I really like it. So, please. Parents say, yep, he's a teenager, all right. Really, though? Hey, Dad, my classmates are yanderes, and they're fighting over me. It's called school days. Who died when I wasn't here? Nobody, but it's getting boring now, because the character can't stop, like, hemming and hawing about whether or not his besties are gonna kill him. What's the matter, Keiichi? Did something happen? Mom was finally able to ask me that questioning gaze. Of course this was a normal response when someone's son talked about a subject like this. I felt bad about making them worry, but right now I just wanted to think about the clock in my room. With the awkward move leaving the room in silence, I decided to go back up to my I want to get to school early tomorrow, so I'm going to bed. Good night. Only saying that I left the... No, that's suspicious as fuck. Now they're gonna know. They're gonna be like, yeah, guys, we totally know. What's going on here? I needed to get to school early and secure that bat. I should make today the last day I went to school with Dana. As I climbed up the stairs, I heard my mom call my name, but I pretended not to hear her. Told my parents I'm gonna die. Stoically walk off like a badass. Like... It wasn't something I could talk about with my parents. If I talked about it, then it would only make things more dangerous. The fight that had begun was mine and mine alone. I couldn't rely on anybody. I wouldn't be killed. Not when I still knew nothing. Was that entire chapter just him fucking wanking about whether or not he's gonna die? Oh my god. I'm gonna kill him myself. Oh, pussy bitch. I've never heard of it put like that before. Gotta have the foreshadowing. This is just stupid. Why is he gonna die? Because he knows too much. He knows too much. Gotta turn in early for tonight. Don't get murdered. I'll do my best. I actually hope he gets murdered at this point. I'm fucking sick of him. I would have fucking taken the lollies and ran back to Tokyo. Come on, girls. We're going to Kabukicho. I'd be pretty fixated on it if I was gonna get murdered. Who's the killer? Ren and Mion. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me. They're gonna kill me. Who isn't the killer? Yeah, that's the better question, actually. Hai, ikimasu. Hai, tsuzukimasu. This is the first time I've ever woke up with such clarity. Oh, God. It was 5:59, moments before my alarm would go off. I was amazed by the precision of my internal clock. I had made preparations for the next day of school before I went to bed. I changed them quickly and descended down the deserted lower floor. It appeared that my mom was still asleep. Neither breakfast nor lunch was ready. Yesterday, I just unilaterally? Unilaterally? What is it? How does that work in this? How does that work in this situation? Huh? Unilaterally? That doesn't make sense in this, like, sentence. Unilaterally? Like, absolutely. Declared that I would be leaving early today, so it couldn't be helped. I slathered jam on some bread and topped it with instant cocoa. Cocoa. Just as I was finishing up breakfast, Mom groggily. Holy shit, I can't read fast anymore. I lost my mouth. Rose groggily from her slumber. Hi, Keiichi, you're up early. Is there some sort of school event? Not really. Answering bluntly, I picked up my bag and stood after stuffing 2 pieces of bread down my throat. You're leaving already? What about lunch? If you don't wait a bit, I can't make it. If I waited for her to make my lunch, then it would end up being the same time as usual. If I did that, then I would raise the chances of me running into Dale and Mio on the way. Yes, from today onwards, I was going to school alone. Hi, Cozy! Hisashiburi da na. Welcome to the stream. I'll be fine for today. Sorry about my English. English is my first language. Yeah, exactly. What do I have worse grammar in, my Japanese or my English? Who's to say? Then, what will you do for lunch? I'll slip out and buy some bread or something at the store. Really? Then here's some lunch money. Be sure to bring me back the receipt. I took the 1,000 yen bill from Mom and slipped it in my pocket. It's pretty early. Is Dana-chan up this early as well? Just me. Did you tell Dana-chan that you're leaving early? I have no reason to tell her every little detail now, do I? She's worried about you. She's your mom, you fucking cunt walker. Finding it difficult answering the onslaught of questions, I made an annoyed face. Tell Dana I went ahead when she comes. Hey, Keiichi, wait! It's not that I didn't trust my parents, I just couldn't rely on them. It's not that I don't trust my parents, I just don't trust my parents. Like, Keiichi, you are stupid. They couldn't help me. I could only hope that they didn't get involved. It was safer that way. My mom's annoying voice was annoying! I grow less and less respectful of Keiichi as this game progresses onwards. Do not call your mother annoying, you piece of shit. She didn't go through like however many hours of labor for that. Fuck you. We don't diss moms. Don't blame him, Midu. I am blaming him. Hey, I need to move my wait, do I need to move my laundry? I think I need to move my laundry. It's not his fault he's a teen boy. He has rebel hormones. His mother is annoying. You're annoying. He is 14 anyway. This is true. Was cut off by the slam of the door. For the first time since I had moved here, I was headed down the road to the school alone. They're gonna catch his ass. Up until now, I'd always walked down the same path, the same time each way. So I met with the same people, the same places, but today was different. I didn't meet the people I normally would have, and nobody was in the places where I normally would have met them. My mother is annoying? I'm gonna kill you. Go tell your mom you love her. She's gonna die, and then you're gonna be like, man, I wish I knew my mom better, but I'm a spoiled jerk butt face. Unless your mom is, like, actually a horrible person. In that case, I'm sorry. Can't relate. Skill issue. Of course, Dana wasn't in the spot where we usually met, and wasn't anyone in the spot where you usually would have met up with me. On the length of the tree shadows in the morning air and the difference of the sun, it was a completely different type of morning than I was used to. Without a doubt, it felt strange. Living with the impression that I had destroyed the illusion of Inamizawa had set up for me, and had enough time to prepare all the props it needed to deceive me. My, Keiichi-kun. You're up so early today. Is everyone eating this morning? The person who called out to me was someone who always walked who passed us by as they were taking a walk along the edge of the fields. Their name was, I forgot. Of course, this wasn't the spot where we usually pass by each other. I woke up early today, so I thought it would be a good change of pace. That's all. I threw out a random excuse. What about Dana-chan and Mion-chan? Are you by yourself today? Well, yeah. I was being asked the same type of usual questions my mom was asking, so I answered them with the same uninteresting and vague manner. It wasn't funny being asked where Dana was each time I passed by someone. Maybe it was to be expected. It was because for so long we were always together amicably. Even I had felt if I let my guard down, we could still even be friends. Stop it, Keiichi. Don't think about that anymore. You spent all day yesterday thinking about how dangerous it was to go soft, didn't you? Sometimes moving out sounds like a good idea. Yeah, like literally just leave. Beep, 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 beep. A car horn blared out of nowhere. Even though I was walking lost in thought, that horn was way too close. A mechanical behemoth barreled by me from behind, catching me completely off guard. By the time I turned around, the van's hulking chassis was over on top of me. I'd seen plenty cars veer in the opposite shoulder to avoid pedestrians, but this car was doing the opposite. It felt like there was somebody on the opposite shoulder. The van was swerving in my direction to avoid them. That blissfully ignorant train of thought delayed me from realizing something much, much more important. That large mass was hurtling right at me. Was it going to hit me? The inside of my head instantly flooded with a painful, cold liquid. And that moment, the scene before me, no, time itself had frozen. In the silence of the frozen moment, I compared the van so close that I had no way to dodge it, and my body, the upper half, twisted awkwardly in order to look behind me. There was no way I could dive out of the way in my current position. Just, like, drop down. Drop down to the floor. Did he get hit by the isekai truck? Yeah, he's about to. If I lost focus now, this moment would unpause, and I would probably be plowed over, caught in this silly pose. I bend my upper body towards the patty by the side of the road. If I bend far enough, then I'll get away with just being hit by the side view mirror. As soon as the thought crossed my mind, the temporal stasis was shattered in the deafening sound of the van. The side mirror struck my shoulder, sending me spinning through the air like a top, locked in a contorted position. Kaplash! Sent tumbling through the air, I crashed in the muddy patty by the side of the road. My entire body was soiled and drenched, but the choice I made was instant and unmistakably for the best. Just, like, couldn't you have, like, dropped down to the floor and have the car, like, go over him? Nah. I was covered by mud, but when the alternative was being hit by the car, it was the closest I could be to being unscathed. Rising out from the patty, I had probably had enough time in me. I had enough in me to glare over the stopped van and yell profanities at the driver. Fuck you! I'm not sure if he was able to see me, but the van sped off suddenly. Wait, damn it! This is what they call a hit and run, wasn't it? I couldn't help but continue yelling out profanities. The disgrace from being covered in mud hurt me more than my physical wounds. I slogged through the muddy patty and made my way back to the road. There's a reason why people jack cars up to sidle. Cars aren't that tall. You can't, like, fit? You can't fit under a car, even if you press yourself, like, totally flat. No. Oh. See, this is things you guys are telling me that could probably save my life, because I had no fucking clue. I had had no fucking clue. I never... I was like, well, maybe you could slide under it. American truck, maybe? In Japan? No chance. Yeah, I guess, like, American cars are taller, though, huh? Not everyone's tiny like you, Miru. Hey, I'm pretty tall. Don't plan on going under any... Well, now I'm not. Fuck. This is a crime, goddammit. Shit, I'll track you down and sue you. If I go looking for a van, I'm sure to find it in this little village. The path I was on had rice paddies on either side, and it became so narrow one car could barely fit through. It wasn't the place you could tear full speed down in a car, let alone pass by pedestrians. Not only was it a narrow road, the car just now was closer to my side of the road than the others when it went past me. As I cursed, I was desperately trying to suppress the dark cloud rolling up within me. It wasn't just a hit and run. That car just now was trying to run me over, wasn't it? Thinking back, I did feel like there was a car creeping up on me slowly for a while. That's right, as soon as I parted ways with that person taking a walk, I had this feeling the whole... Why didn't he look behind himself? If it had wanted to pass me, then it had no shortage of chances. Normally I would have felt suspicious and turned around sooner, but I was lost in thought and now I was kicking myself for not realizing it was there soon. Because he's fucking too busy moaning and moaning. Just leave. Just go somewhere, bro. Just fucking fuck off. How tall are you? I'm 5'7". And when the path became narrow, there was no longer in sight. He floored it. If I had hesitated for a moment, the result would have been no laughing matter. The adrenaline rush. He can't drive. Okay, yeah, but trains in Japan exist. Japan has literally the best public transportation in, like, the world, right? Except for maybe, like, some tiny European country. But for a country the size of Japan, really good transportation. No train goes to Hinamizawa, only buses. Then take the fucking bus. Bus fare is not that expensive. The bus only comes once a day. Yeah. Can you fit under a train? Well, no, because the wheels are like... No, you would die. The adrenaline rush nearly being rushed over subsided, and the realization of how terrifying the preceding events were sunk in. There was no doubt about it. That van was intentionally trying to hit me. Cold, vicious sweat seeped from my scalp and slid down my back before dribbling off. As I struggled to avoid falling into a panic, there was a possibility that this was really just an accident. Calm down, Keiichi. If it was an accident, they would have stopped. They were trying to kill you. But also, don't be so naive, Keiichi. Being that lax will get you killed next time. You need to be always on your toes. Don't give them any openings. You can go under a train. It's made such that you can go under if you fall on the tracks. Oh. See, another thing that could save my life. If my enemy was really out to get me, then next time they would use a more reliable method. If that time came, and I was acting like I was now, I was being covered in mice. Mud was the price I had to pay for my own naivete. Covered in mud, but without injury. Not even a sprain. I guess this is what you would call the silver lining. Taller than I thought. Yeah, most VTubers are tiny. I don't know. I have the feel... Okay. I'm not gonna, like, I'm not gonna, like, point fingers at VTubers, but sometimes I think some VTubers are lying about how tall they are. And some VTubers are, I'm just so short, I'm just the shortest girl in the whole wide world. Yeah, I don't really see that many short girls. Like, TBH, like, in America, I thought, like, okay, yeah, Japanese girls are pretty short sometimes, but, like, American girls are not that short. So I feel like a lot of English VTubers are lying about how tall they are. VTuber I watched it the other day, they were 4'9". I pictured Midu towering over her. See, like, I don't know if I believe that. If you don't see short girls, it means you're the short girl. I literally wear 3-inch platforms, like, every day to work. I know I'm not short. I'm, like, nearly 6 foot in them. YouTubers, they're all hiding inside their houses. Yeah, are we all just, like, neats that are stunted? I feel like most VTubers... Miru's so tall, her sight line can't spot the 5-foot girls. Yeah, exactly. VTubers are the lowest of the low, so I believe they're genetically inferior. I'm gonna kill you. No, well, they're 4'9". My half-Asian friend is 4'10". Isn't that, like, literally a midget if you're 4 foot? Aren't you literally a midget at that point? She was a mix of short G nationalities. See, I believe it. I believe it sometimes. But then it's like, why is every VTuber so fucking short? 5'10", 4'10" is a girl. I think it, or 4'10" is a dwarf. I think it's 4'8" for girls. Huh. See, well, like, why is every VTuber a dwarf? I can't believe that every single VTuber is tiny. I just can't believe it. I'm not saying, like, if they're all lying. But, like, I'm not saying there's, like, a grand conspiracy, but there's gotta be. 5 foot is short, but that's pretty fucking short. I have to look down to make eye contact with you. That's short. Like... I get a feeling they're lying about it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There was a conspiracy. You weren't invited. I'm sorry. Fuck! She insisted she was 4'11" and a half. She wasn't 5 foot. But she wasn't going to give up a half an inch. I mean, okay, I believe it in certain situations. I'm not saying, like, every VTuber who says they're short is lying. I'm just, like, sometimes when VTubers are like, I'm the shortest, tiniest girl in the whole wide world. I'm like, are you, though? I'm always just a little questionable. It's a little questionable. You're the second tallest VTuber. Yeah, like, I think that's weird, because I'm not even that, like, tall. I had this woman walk into the store, and she looked like she was, like, 6'5". I was like, holy smokes. I was like, wait, why isn't she streaming? Are short girls more inclined to be VTubers? Discuss. Okay, I'm gonna go move my laundry and brew some tea. I'll be like 2 seconds, okay? Mata na. Toto mate na.
Hello, tall people of Twitch.tv. I have returned. Hi. I still have the what happens if you swallow a needle thing open. Okay. Did my laundry. I love my laundry. I'm fluffing up my Halloween costumes for what kind of tea? Shit, what is this? It's peach tea with a bit of chamomile and some honey. I have some like I am stretching, guys. I just sat down. Why are you all making me stretch? I just sat down. I was up stretching. I was walking. It's still really hot, so I'm not going to take a sip yet, okay? I have to wait for it to cool down. A hint of chamomile, and then I mix some local honey in. Local honey is really good for allergies, actually. Because it like, gets your body used to like the local pollen or whatever. I had to do laundry routine. Now, when push-ups redeem, never. That sounds horrible. I began walking again, this time cautiously. I couldn't even show a hint of carelessness. I had suspected only Raina and the others up until now. Why? Like, all the town people are out for him. You should know this. No, it was because I had suspected them that I believed there were no other enemies. Oishi-san had said so, didn't he? There was a possibility all the families of the villages were involved. I was really mired so deeply in the situation that I had no choice but to carry on as usual. Return to game redeem. I'm literally playing it right now. Wouldn't it be the safest just to hold myself up in my house? But then the moment I abandoned my regular routine, everyone around me would abandon theirs as well. That was just too horrifying a thought. I recalled the tales Oishi-san told me of when Hinamizawa was still called Onigafuchi, a frightening tale of an entire village of demons hunting their prey, surrounding them and eating them alive. One must not interfere with demons. One must pretend not to see it. The enemy were still numerous, all the village families. The villagers with their unwavering faith in the curse would do nothing to help me. The strong, sudden flash of sunrise made me get slightly dizzy. I had no idea what was going on about anymore. When I suspected the work of man, I would catch a glimpse of a Yashido-sama's curse, and then when I suspected it was a Yashido-sama's curse, someone would poke their head out. What was a coincidence? Was it intentional? Who was my enemy? Who was just a bystander? No. What I really, truly wanted to know was how did I end up on this proverbial bullseye painted on my back? Eventually an answer in a form I could understand will appear. I don't care when that will happen, because until then I cannot die. That alone fueled my resolve to fight and keep me alive. It's always just the same thing, over and over. Like, I swear to God, we've already had his resolve to stay alive. I get it, game, I get it! Fuck. I remember seeing the metal bat in the gym storage shed, but there was only a padlock on the door barring my entry. At the very least, I wanted to get my hands on it before everyone else arrived at school. I circled around the school grounds impatiently. But all I could find were things like pieces of lumber, nothing I could bring to the classroom easily. Then I had an epiphany. I should start and search inside the classroom. It was something in the classroom to begin with. There wasn't be a problem. I could tell that everyone's indoor shoes were still in their lockers. Good thing I came early. Nobody else was here yet. I wondered what else could I find in the classroom. I didn't think I could find an especially effective weapon like a bat, but it couldn't be helped at this point. Until the gym storage shed was open, I needed to find a substitute. A lingering hint of naivete whispered that there would be no way I'd get attacked at school. But such soft ideas would no longer protect me. To think that they were slowly making their way into parts of my life that I had once thought impenetrable. In the worst case, my own house might not be safe anymore. That was an incredibly frightening thought, but I believed I would not... Considering... See, like, he's saying, oh, my house might not be safe anymore. It already wasn't safe. Like, it already wasn't safe. Like, this was already established twice. Twice he has been uncomfortable in his own home. We have established that his home is not safe. We have established nowhere is safe. Why do we need to keep saying this? Why do we need to keep repeating this? Come on. I get it. You don't need to spell out everything. Some things, like, I know the great thing about books is everything is, like, right there to read out. Literally read out, but you don't have to spell everything out, okay? You need to trust. You need to be able to trust the viewer. You need to be able to trust the viewer, the player, the reader to fill in the gaps, to understand what you're trying to say without repeating it ad nauseum. Because this is literally writing, like, college level writing class 101. Please. Please. I'm begging this kid. This writing is kind of dog. It was good. It's been good. But why is it doing this shit where it keeps, like, circling in on itself? It's bothering me. Anyways, I will survive. I hope you don't. As long as I lived, I would definitely be able to escape this labyrinth of nonsense. Definitely.
Like, is this trying to clue me into the character's mental state, that he's unwell? There was an entire chapter dedicated to him slowly going insane. Last chapter. We don't need to keep doing this. Give me somebody else's perspective. Like, there's a point. I hope there's a point. I hope so. Higurashi was made by one dude. Yeah, and books are written by one dude. Like, books are written by one person, generally. Unless they have a ghostwriter. Like, there's editors and stuff. But plenty of books are written by, like, one person. With, like, a handful of editors. The exploration of the classroom came at an impasse. There was much to be expected. There was no way there would be anything like a weapon in the classroom, and in case of an emergency, there was probably nothing I could do but swing my own chair around. My gaze landed on the lockers that had come in to be used for personal storage. The locker that Mion used to pour a pile of games was among them. There was one for each person in the class, all lined up. Of course, there was one for me as well. Oh yeah, I was supposed to be still in a tracksuit in my locker. Seeing them covered in mud would be strange. I should have changed later. But first I needed a weapon. One of my classmates came. It would be hard to rummage through all the lockers. I swiftly began opening the lockers one by one. They were mostly just filled with personal clothes, personal items, and umbrellas. An umbrella. If I couldn't find anything better, then this would be my weapon. I was about to give up finding anything decent when I opened the locker that held exactly what I wanted. It was without a doubt a metal bat. It was well worn and pretty beaten up, but there was no doubt it was usable. And that locker reeked of mold. It also hung a baseball uniform. It was probably the locker of a student in a Pee Wee league or something like that. If that was the case, they'd probably ask for it back. At that time, I could hear the voices of the children shuffling their way noisily from the hallway. Amongst them, I could make out Rika-chan and Satoko. Ohayou gozaimasu. My, you're quite early this morning, Keiichi-san. I nonchalantly hit the bat I was holding behind my back. What's with your outfit? You're covered in mud. Yeah, I had a little accident. I'm gonna change now, so cut me some slack. With that said, I began taking off my clothes. Satoko began to blush as I expected her to. Changing in front of a lady? Have you no tact at all? I would think that a lady staring at someone who was Can you go to the bathroom? Staring at someone who was changing would be quite one lacking in tact. There's no changing room for the boys, so just deal with it. As Satoko feigned disgust, she went to the hall, still blushing. Conversely, Rika-chan continued to stare at me, preparing to change. If Rika-chan is a lady as well, then I don't think it would be appropriate for you to be watching. I'm not a lady, so it's fine. She deliberately pouted at me and looked with upturned eyes. He's a lolicon, isn't he? Then starting now, you're a lady. If I'm a lady, then I suppose I must. Well, I guess not. I woulda. Anyways, if Rika-chan appearing to be satisfied, considered a lady, made her way to join Satoko in the hallway. Just as I breathed a sigh of relief, Rika-chan suddenly stopped and turned towards me. Are you going to start playing baseball? It seems that Rika-chan had noticed the bat. Yeah, just, I was feeling a bit out of shape, so I thought I'd try and practicing my swing. I think it's wonderful you're taking care of your health. She was talking like an old lady despite her appearance. Oh, so cute! After saying that, Rika-chan started to leave again, but stopped and looked back once more. Please don't lose that bat. It seemed she already knew I took it out of someone's locker. There was no name on the locker door. I don't know whose bat it was, but I would be borrowing it until they complained. It wouldn't be for long, just until the dim sum storage shed was open. After quickly changing into the track shoes at the time, I still had plenty of time before class began because I came so early. I took the bat out in one hand and went to the schoolyard. It was, of course, to practice my swing. I needed to make it known that I would always have a bat on me so I could practice my swing. At some point, the sunlight became even stronger. It was you-know-whose? Yeah, I'm assuming that it's Satoshi's bat. And that's why Rika-chan noticed it. And she's saying, like, oh, don't lose that bat because she doesn't want Keiichi to die. But I can't assume anything unless the game tells me, because I am but a bumbling, idiot, stupid person who doesn't know how to read and doesn't know how to pick up on context clues. I am, of course, a complete dundering idiot, and I surely hope that this visual novel will spell out for me what the point of Rika-chan saying that was, shortly enough. Perhaps with a flashback. That's the one thing this game hasn't done. If it starts going flashback heavy, I will kill myself. I swear to God. Points for self-awareness. Shut up! I'm mocking the visual novel, not me. You're describing me there, Midu. I'm largely incapable of reading between the lines in media. Well, I mean... I feel like it's not like an easy thing to do. I think you just kind of have to start consciously doing it when you play things. Like, when I read things, I'm always trying to take notes of, like, what It's like, you guys know the concept of Chekhov's gun, right? Like, if a gun is introduced in the first chapter of a game on a wall, then that point has to be important. Like, you can't just say useless shit. I agree it isn't something that writing should be made for. I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's a good to explaining it to the audience, but this is excessive. This just feels excessive to me. Disregarding my classmates as they waved in to school, I took my position in the shadow of the school building. Useless stuff is where we got the term red herring. Yeah, but sometimes that can be good too, because you want to like trick, especially if it's like a mystery like this is. It's good to trick the viewer and stuff. You've taught my kid cousin. Well, let me ask him a bad question, because he heard you just now. Wait, what did I teach him? What is a bad question? I'm old enough. Do you mind he is 5? Why are you letting a 5-year-old watch me? I swear like a sailor. Okay, I'll watch my language. But this is a gory game. Red herring is purposeful misdirection. It isn't useless. Yeah. Like there's useless misdirection from like a sloppy writer. He just asked me, Kuya, what is kill yourself? Why are you... Didn't you learn anything from Nug? Did I tell you guys that Nug had to convince his daughter that I, like, took a plane to New York and got a new job? He like, convinced his daughter I was dead for a bit, and then he was like, well, no, she went to New York. Me to list all your favorite swears. I'm not gonna do that, but, like, don't let your kids watch me, bro. Bonk. Bad mod. It wasn't the academic type, I wasn't much of an athlete either. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me? See, I could be Cocomelon. To have to explain him stuff, or distract him enough to forget it. I feel like I'm talking fast enough. He's probably not absorbing half of it anyways. I might get muscle pain if I suddenly started swinging. I should at least work out with some warm-ups. I doubt anyone would think I was doing something out of the ordinary, which is the exact opposite of my actual mental state. I gripped their bat, swung lightly. That was by no means light. The weight would mean there was the right little weapon I needed to be. Of course, I could only pray that the moment I needed to use this weapon would never come. Just me carrying a cold... Thank you for the follow, Banjo. Thank you. At least that's what I hoped. Huh? Get-chan? What are you doing? Being bombarded with such a hysterical voice, I jumped. Oh, Get-chan, are you on the baseball team? The baseball team? It was Dana and Mion. I was surprised to hear you went off ahead. What were you doing, Kei-chan? Can't you tell by looking? I'm practicing my swing for the championship. You can say it's part of my diet if you want. Diet? Kei-chan, are you really that fat? Bet you don't know, I actually have a beer belly. It's plump and jiggles. Plump and jiggles. Dana, you don't have to imagine something weird like that. To distract Reina from imagining something vulgar, I ruffled her hair messily. Well then, I hope you get to regionals at least. This Oji-san will cheer you on. Regionally speaking, it seems that Oshima High is pretty strong. They say that your southpaw, Kamira-kun, is amazing. Good luck. It seems they made me out as some kind of local prodigy, but oh well. Well, if I really did make it a championship, it would be a cinch. After all, it'd be a pitcher and a catcher. I'd pitch the ball, then run past the blah 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 blah. I laughed shyly at the ludicrous image. Coming back to my senses, I smashed the bat against the ground. Damn it! What am I laughing at? I pounded the ground over and over again. With each impact, the reverberation traveling through the bat stung my hands. If they made me smile like that, I demons falling on my smiling friends. I couldn't believe it. Neither does the personality really exist. Like how Dana confessed to the doctor, were they simply being possessed by Oyashiro-sama? In other words, supernatural beings like Oyashiro-sama really exist, and what is it possessing everyone and trying to kill me? Yeah, that would be wonderful. If only everyone were actually my friends, but all along, and everyone was just Oyashiro-sama, everything was Oyashiro-sama's fault. You damn fool, Keiichi Maibara! Come on now! I yelled out, drawing out all the power from the pit of my stomach, raised the bat violently into the air. Stop being so soft! I screamed out with all my might. I beat the metal bat into the ground, over and over. With every impact, my weakness was being beaten down. Smash! Forget. Smash! Forget! Don't be so soft. Really seeing what Miru means about the writer repeating themselves. Yes. Yes. Smash! Know your enemy. Smash! Like the hell I let them kill me. My shoulders heaving up and down, ragged from breathing. I heard the first bell and I calmed down. We are gonna fucking finish this game. I swear to God. Pro gaslighting himself. No, he's right. He's just trying to tell himself to stop being a pussy bitch. I think this is sometimes a problem that can arise from stories being told from a first-person perspective. Is that too much of this shit makes him sound like a whiny bitch. Like, I know he's 14, but, like, I don't like 14-year-olds. You don't have to. I gasped with sudden realization that this was the final bell. All the trench and drained from me. I let out a deep breath. My mind was in a muddled state for much the entire day. I didn't feel like I was weighted. I didn't feel like I was asleep either. I couldn't say especially comfortable, but I felt relief that the sanctity of the part of my daily life had yet to be violated. How long would I have to keep living like this? I could only grit my teeth and bear it as this living hell slowly gnawed away at me. Keiichi-kun, come on! It's club time! Club time! The sound of Dana's voice brought me back to my senses. Come on, Kei-chan! Stop spacing out! Bring your desk! Your desk! Everyone was moving their desks together as usual. That's right. It was happy, fun club time. I had no intention of taking part. I haphazardly stuffed the contents of my desk into my bag and prepared to go home. It was a weak-handed gesture to avoid having to actually say, I'll be going home now. What's this, Kei-chan? You planning on going home right away again? Mian sounded quite disappointed. I'm just not in the mood. Could you let me be for a while? Some of the words that spilled from my mouth matched Mian's disapproving glare. I felt like, is this the last chapter? Everyone said there were like 14 chapters or something. I felt like air in the room had dried out. Satoko looked over like she was about to say something, but perhaps dissuaded by the mood, she allowed her words to stay silent. Nobody said a thing. I took that to mean I could leave if I wanted. But the collected gaze was before them, like tiny little pins used to mount an insect on a display held me in place. Thanks for the follow, Split Danger. Dana was the one who cut through the heavy mood. Keiichi-kun, you just didn't like playing with girls, I guess. I guess. She said it in such a melancholic tone, it sent a wave of pain racing through my heart. If this pain was going to kill me, I wanted it to be the soft part of me that could still feel pain. I tore at my chest, violently tearing out the pins that held me in place. That's not it at all! I'd only be hurting myself by saying anything more, so I swallowed my words. Cutting things off there, I turned away and exited the classroom. They didn't speak a word to me as I left. She's crazy, get over it. It was a long, dull trip back home, but I didn't lose focus. I firmly squeezed the grip of the bat, which was already soggy from sweat, realizing that I wiped down my sleeve. If something were to happen, I wouldn't want to be slippery. Since this morning, I've become especially sensitive to the presence of cars. Even while walking, my ears picked up and sought out threatening sounds, the presence that could be closing in. And that's why I could hear it. Without a doubt, there were footsteps. Those footsteps matched up perfectly with mine for a while now. From what I could sense, it was all just one person, but I had no intention of being careless. Did they intend to follow me like that? That car this morning until we were at a good location to assault me, then it wasn't a good idea to keep walking like this. I stopped walking and looked back. The wooded path crowded with trees and responded with silence as if there was nobody there to begin with, but I wouldn't be fooled. I was certain footsteps were following me. And just as I stopped, the footsteps stopped as well, meaning the person following me wanted to keep their distance. That was, without question, proof that I was their target. I held my breath, waiting for that presence to panic and start moving again. The trees wrestled with the sound of the wind. The higurashi also joined the dissonant chorus, trying to throw my focus into disarray. Had 5 minutes passed, or had it only been like this for a whole 30 minutes? It was so hard to breathe that I might have suffocated. It seemed I might be the first to panic. Without a doubt, he was lurking in the shade of that tree with bated breath. Then I'd make the first move. I fixed my grip on the bat. I raised it up to my shoulder, being ready to swing it at any time. Hey! I know you're there! With all my might, I screamed at whoever was hiding in the shade of the trees, but the presence in the shade didn't budge. Until the moment I found them, they had no intention of revealing themselves. I know already! I know you're there! I screamed out angrily at them, but even still, they didn't move at all. Then I'd go over there myself! With all due vigilance, I approached step by step. Stepping into the tree's shadow, I saw a human figure there. That figure was curled up like a small animal. Dana! When she realized I had found her, her expression softened. She seemed apologetic, but wasn't going to speak a word. Did you have some business with me? I wouldn't accept that silence, and just screamed the question at her. Not really. It's just, Dana was in panic with tears welling up in her eyes, but it was obvious that she had been following me. What about the club? since you're not... I'm not... That shouldn't matter. Don't mind me and just go play. But I'm just worried about you. Thinking about how I'd been acting up until now, it wasn't hard to imagine that my behavior couldn't have been perceived as strange. So Dana was concerned. At a quick glance, that's how it would seem, but it wasn't going to let my guard down that easily. Even if it was really the case, she still wouldn't have to do something to try and tail me. She would have called out to me when I was leaving and gone right out with me. But Dana didn't do that. She kept her distance and matched my walking speed. On top of that, she matched the sound of her footsteps and deviously tried to hide her presence from me. Then, after she realized I noticed she was there, she held her breath and tried hiding from me. You ski on the road. Why give up the high ground, stepping into the ditch? Yeah, you should have just stood there and be like, Dana, you piece of shit. Come out and kill me. Or cook me a nice dinner and we can forget all this ever happened. She wore a timid expression that would force one to take pity on her, but without a doubt she was still tailing me. Stop following me. Still glaring at Dana, I continued walking onwards. After I walked for a bit, she ignored my command and began walking again, so I yelled at her once more. I told you not to follow me! But my house is in the same direction. Then walk ahead of me. I'll start walking once I can't see you anymore. I moved out of the way and waved my bat violently to urge her forward. Dana, please follow me instead of... Exactly. I'd like to go home together. With you. Don't fall for it, bros. Steel yourself. Steel your resolve. Making a pitiful expression, she meekly squeaked out the words in a voice I knew would cut into my heart. That agitated me to no end. I knew it was a lie. If you wanted to go home together, then you should have called out to me. Now you're just blurting out random lies. I'm sorry. It seemed that seething anger within me was written all over my face. Even without me saying anything, Dana had understood what I was feeling inside. If you get it, then go. I swung the bat, urging her to walk. Dana looked back and forth between me and the bat and started walking hesitantly, then stopped again. Go on then, hurry! I'm going, so please stop with the bat. It's scary. Dana guarded herself while pointing at me, holding the bat. She may have realized I wasn't planning on using this bat for baseball. I lowered it, but still guardedly opened the way for her. Go. There's no problem now, is there? There was nothing else she could protest. She passed me timidly as not to set me off. As I watched her pass by, she stopped completely, after barely moving at all. Hey, don't stop! Then, a powerful gust blew past us, barraging my face with dust. The dust got into my eyes and clouded my vision. While rubbing my eyes with my left hand, I swung blindly at the bat in my right, protecting the small opening I had presented. But Dana didn't even try to attack during that opening. Attack me? No, she hadn't budged an inch. I could tell from the sound of her fluttering skirt in the wind. That's what the skirt sounded like. As her skirt settled, so did the silence. At that moment, the voice inside me immediately warned me of the impending danger. I was caught by surprise. The smell of the air had changed? Without me realizing it, the air around me suddenly felt like calamity was about to befall me. Too bad there's dust in his eyes. He missed the skirt lip. Real. Like Dana and I were locked in this space. Dana didn't move an inch. Also unable to move, I stared at her back. Dana was the first to break the silence. Instantly, she altered her stance. I felt like I had just watched her shift from Dana into that other person who looks like Dana. But the voice was one I knew, which filled me with a kind of bewildering pity. Carelessly, I felt relief upon hearing that pitiful voice. Well, excuse me, but, can I ask you for something? Too shy to even turn around, Dana squeezed her voice out desperately. As she trembled. What? Well, why do you have a bat, I wonder? The question Dana asked was by no means unexpected. I can carry whatever I want. But you didn't have one up until today. Why so suddenly? It's alright if I decide to do something suddenly, isn't it? Is it strange if I have a bat? But because, Keiichi, you're not the kind of person who plays baseball. It's weird. I couldn't tell what kind of answer she was looking for, and I was getting tired of answering her. I just suddenly got the urge to play baseball. Is that so weird? It's weird, she answered instantly, and that annoyed me slightly. I just wanted to play baseball, and I wanted to practice my swing, so I'm carrying around a bat. What's strange about that? Strange. Weird. Definitely. Why is Keiichi-kun also? Your ramblings are annoying me. Is it that strange for someone to have an interest in sports? I tried to sound a bit more threatening to the end of the conversation. Until my suspicions about Reina was cleared, I had no obligation to answer her questions. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't get so angry. Reina still didn't turn around and spat out words of apology one after the next. Just one last thing. Tell me one last thing. I don't feel like talking anymore. Hurry up and go. I yelled loudly at her, causing her to flinch as though she had been struck. Seeing her in such a pathetic state caused my heart to ache sorely. Even though she was afraid, she stubbornly kept from moving. Before I was able to threaten her again, Dana asked her final question. Why is that bat the same, too? What did she mean? Kids, you're so fucking dumb.
Oh, I wonder if the bat is the same as the guy who was in the.
Gee, I wonder.
I had no idea what she was talking about. What are you saying?
I mean, why is even the bat the same?
I don't understand what you mean at all. Say it clearly. Even still, Dana didn't turn around. After inhaling deeply, she screamed.
I mean, why is even the bat the same as Satoshi-kun's?
Satoshi being... Huh? Upon hearing the name out of the blue, I became dumbfounded for a brief moment. By Satoshi, did she mean the student who transferred out last year? No, that couldn't be. Dana had tried to cover it up by saying she transferred. He transferred, but Oishi-san told me quite clearly he was missing. He was the student who sat in my seat up until last year. He was believed to have been demoned away by the Oyashiro-sama's curse. I didn't know the details about his disappearance. The aunt he lived with was also killed the night of the Watanagashi by a drug addict, but not long after that, he suddenly vanished and now was missing? That Satoshi and I were... what? My gaze fell onto the bat in my hands. Could it be? Satoshi Hojo. It was a bit difficult to see, but that's what was written on the white tape at the end of the bat.
And he only just now he's looking at this?
I see. So this is Satoshi's bat.
Where did he found it in someone's locker and he wasn't thinking about it before he took it.
Oh. This was Satoshi's bat? Since nobody was using it, I borrowed it. That's not a problem, is it?
That's not it!
The way Dana said it made it seem like this bat was really something I should never be touched. Like it was some sort of offering at a shrine or a memento of the deceased. I could only stand there, perplexed and unable to respond. Dana continued, speaking without waiting for a reply.
Why is it that you're doing the exact same thing Satoshi-kun did when it happened to him?
Dana was talking more about more than just the bat that belonging to Satoshi.
It was the same with Satoshi-kun. He joined the baseball team, but he didn't really like baseball.
What does that have to do with me?
Satoshi-kun also started walking around with a bat one day. He joined the team, but he wasn't the type to play sports.
What about it? I closed my mouth before I could say that out loud. Listen carefully, Keiichi. Dana's trying to tell us something important.
Us?
You're telling the viewer.
Satoshi-kun also. One day came to school all by himself all of a sudden. Just like Keiichi-kun. Then one day he suddenly started practicing his swing. Just like Keiichi. Then one day he suddenly began carrying the bat around with him. Just like Keiichi. Then one day he suddenly...
And one day he suddenly what? Dana swallowed her words. Dana's sudden silence brought a hush back to the surrounding area. It was then that I could finally digest the content of the entire conversation. She was saying that my chain of actions was exactly the same as Satoshi. What was the meaning of this? Up until just now, I'd forgotten all about Satoshi. I'd never paid much attention to him in the first place. Not only that, I didn't even know anything of what he had done. My actions today should have been my own creation after all the planning I had done, but they had been the exact same as Satoshi's? Then Satoshi... No, more importantly, if Satoshi and I acted the same, then there really was a good possibility that what happened after would be the same. Dana, that day, what happened to Satoshi? Dana knew. She knew what became of Satoshi. No, forget about what happened to the guy in the past. Dana knew it was going to happen to me. Answer me, Dana! Satoshi, what happened to him? With that, I grabbed Dana's shoulder violently and forced her to turn around and face me.
Bad idea, bro.
As I faced her, I felt a jolt travel through my entire body.
I told you. Keiichi-kun.
It was that person I didn't know. At least, it definitely wasn't the Dana Ryugu I'd been talking to up until now. The voice now didn't have a trace of trembling or emotion that it had before. The amount of regret I felt for turning her around so carelessly was unsurpassed. The gaze pierced like a cold needle. The smile on her face had been invoked by the image of having carved out by a knife. Chills went down my spine. My mind froze under a layer of rime. Both Dana's eyes pierced through mine, leaving mine unable to look away. As if to remind me of the fear from the time just before, Dana brought her face close to mine, so close that I could feel her breath. Her face had filled my entire field of vision. Then her sharply shaped lips grew even sharper, like the curves of a crescent moon. She grinned. I told you, Keiichi-kun. After a short pause, Dana repeated the same words again. Satoshi-kun, you see, transferred out. Transferred meaning what? What Dana meant must have been some kind of new definition of transfer I was not previously aware of. My throat and lips dried up. I couldn't even acknowledge what I just heard. All I could do was swallow my own saliva. It would seem that Dana was just a nod. Nothing is, new. Nothing new is happening. Satoshi tried to go under a car from some advice from a bear VTuber. Hey! I've never been hit by a car. How was I supposed to know you can't fit under one? She pulled back her gaze and spryly stepped back 2-3 paces. As she did, my legs gave out and I fell to my knees pathetically. Dana and me on my knees underneath her emotionless smile. That had to be a very odd sight indeed. Seeing me in that pathetic state, she neither soft nor held out her hand, but I could neither stand nor escape. She's literally done this before. How many times does he have to do this in front of her? There was undoubtedly a metal bat in my hand, but right now it was useless to me, as if I was a fly caught in her web, a heavy beta cinema, blah, blah, blah. But you won't, will you? Keiichi-kun? Dana finally released me from that cage of time after what felt like an eternity. Her question was missing something important. It was incredibly vague. Once again, I swallowed up. Do what? Was she not wanting me to do? Transfer. But you hit people with yours. You should know. I have never hit anybody with my car, despite my urges to. My therapist says I should be locked away. I don't have a therapist. I'm lying to you. Satoshi and I had what? All my well-up plans act, blah, 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 blah. Satoshi, had he really been in the same situation I was in now? The friends had gotten it all wrong. For no plan to kill him. Then, fearing for his life, as I am, he got the bat, protect himself. Yes, that's what was implied. Okay, game. Why do you have to spell this out? Didn't I literally call that this was gonna happen? And now it's... Okay. He transferred, my blood went cold. What did she mean by transfer? What did she mean by transfer? What did he More importantly, where did he transfer to? What did she mean by transfer? These are all questions a viewer can ask themselves. Before I knew it, I was at my front door. Nobody home. Odd occurrence. Pulled a single key, attached to first seal keychain. We know he's we know he got onikakushi shita. Stepped in the entryway. Someone had entered right behind me. Like a classmate messing around, standing right up against my back. You're kidding, right? It had to be my imagination. Logically speaking, it was impossible for someone to be able to hide their presence within my personal space all the way through the door. There was undoubtedly someone behind me. Hey now, Keiichi. How do you know they're there even though they're behind you? Because I could hear the sound of flowing hair. There's no other reason I'd hear that sound. That was the presence. Because I could hear the sound of them blinking. Keiichi Maibara, there's no way you could hear that. More importantly, mostly instinct, common sense is telling me it was just my imagination. It was my imagination. I began to erase a mental image. But by then, I asked myself if there was nobody, what was I feeling? Actually, wouldn't it be better if there was somebody there? Then there was nobody, turned around, would you be able to accept that? And I'd be able to... But I didn't have the courage. Oh, right, I could try speaking to them, then the person behind me, they might answer me. It was a random thought, I didn't care, I would just turn around. Calm down, I thought about it. I wouldn't have known. Who is it? I spoke in such a hoarse, broken voice that I couldn't believe it was my own. I could almost feel them contemplating their response. I felt it. There's no way... At that time, I was certain I heard it. Someone inhaling. I heard it clear. Just turn around! It was a girl, a young girl. I didn't know who, but a tiny speck of courage in me, however reckless it was, inspired blah, blah, blah. A scream. All the way, I released my lungs through my throat, ceasing. Collapse like a house of cards, somehow managing to twist my body to look back. It was definitely there. Right there. Somebody was there. Who? Till the moment I turned around, falling face up, my eyes trace the remnants. This is why, like, horror writing just doesn't do it for me, guys. Who is there? Still standing there, I screamed. Excitedly, collapsed. Pent-up emotions, torrent of aggression. Emotion my state of heightened lucidity entrusted my body to the fury. Metal bat, drawn there by a magnet. Mid-level sweep. Swordsmanship or something. Rah! I bandaged my will to fight. After the... Okay, but... Like, who is it? Bat slammed to the right wall. Very calmly, transfer the force. Rebound. Door of the shoe cupboard was split into pieces. So he's just fucking LARPing. Feel the panic. Attack wasn't the only thing. I extracted the bat. Large arc. Rah! My scream shook the air, imbuing my ferocious swing with even more destructive power. Crack. Mercy. None of my attacks. Breathing heavily, soaked in sweat. Not there, but dispersed. When I was certain the enemy had retreated, like couldn't he just turn around? I know they're trying to build suspense, but this is just a dumb way to do it. Wouldn't it have been like smarter if he's like, I know, I hear them breathing, and then slowly he turns around and then there's just like nothing or a blur of a person running away? No way. Had it feigned retreat and was now inside my house. I channeled my aggression, searched for the presence, but it was gone. I had succeeded in fending it off. At that moment, the tension drained. All of the emotions chaotically merged together. She dies first in a horror movie. Shut up. If I do, then at least I'm out of a horror movie, because they'll suck. Blew through my body, unable to deal in this moment. After checking the doors, they're locked. Curtains, straighten up my back, clearing my mind, calm down a little more. What was that at the front door? There's definitely something there. Yes, we know. He, not she. Oh, you mean like Keiichi's the first to die in a horror movie? Well, this is a horror game. Compose yourself. No matter, blah, blah, blah. Supernatural. Illusion. Proof. I just had one piece. When I asked who is it, they inhaled. That sound clearly reached my ears. The situation I was in. Yashido-sama, villagers, unclear motives, mystery, persuaded by humans, Dana. Okay, yes, I know. But if it's humans, then I have to blame Reina. But if it's Yashido-sama, that's stupid because curses aren't real. Okay. Reliable. There's still ever slight possibility. Literally, I could skip all of this and I would still be getting, like... However, what has happened? I'd be able to refute Oyashiro-sama. Curse, perpetrator, Reina, Oyashiro-sama, Reina, Oyashiro-sama. 3 options. Calm down, Keiichi. Accept what's happened. Stop thinking. Couldn't think of it as that. I already understand his thoughts, though. There's nothing else to... Please. Phone rang out noisily. Generally, there were no calls for me. Since my parents weren't here, I had no choice. Hello, this is Mayabata residence. Keiichi, this is Mom. I intuitively have a bad feeling about this. I thought she was going to ask me to go out and buy things, so I took the initiative. What? I don't mind having instant noodles for dinner. There's still a lot of them. The other day we went out as a family and bought a whole case of cup noodles. I wanted to get a different kinds of... But why am I learning this? Is it like the juxtaposition between his crazy schizo thoughts to his cup noodle thoughts? So you see, there isn't a need to go shopping, right? Keiichi, I'm not asking you to go shopping. Both Mom and Dad have to go to Tokyo. Huh? Right now? This is really abrupt. No, we're already here. We left this afternoon. It's quite a distance to Tokyo from Hinamizawa. It just shows he can have high-functioning thoughts amidst his paranoia. Yeah, but like right now is a really high, like, tension moment. Where obviously you kind of want to string the viewer along into the, like, scary scenario. But right now I feel totally out of it. I don't know. I don't think they were thinking much about, like, how does the reader interpret these experiences when they were writing this. I'm not sure. Dad took the license, taken longer, understand, things aren't going smoothly. They're really sensitive. Part of my father's fragile artistic personality. His emotions change as easily as the fall sky. But something like that can be done over the phone. Keiichi, it's your father's job. Your son, there's nothing more you can... I'm still reading, by the way, when I'm skipping it. I'm just not, like, reading it out loud. I read really, really quick. I don't think the anime did quite as much introspection for Keiichi, but there's still a decent amount of it. I mean, I'm not against it, but the thing is it's not adding anything that I haven't already experienced. Like, the game has already made all these points. You shouldn't speak so lightly of dying. If there's something troubling you, just talk. Eve will help you out. If I died, but nothing depressing them. I didn't plan on dying. At least not while I knew nothing. I'd never allow it. I won't die. I won't. I'll survive even if I have to gnaw my leg off. Yeah, see you then. Tomorrow. Well, see, he's gonna have to gnaw his leg off later. Yeah, see you. The call ended like that. Sometimes the parents head off to Tokyo. Normally I did things by the phone. I feel rather unnatural. I recognized the reality that tonight I was the only one in my house. My parents, home from work, had gone missing, vanished. Looking back, but why is he worried about Yoshiro-sama's curse striking now when, like, the two people already went missing? Like, he's fine. Nursery ran to the living room, flicking on the lights. Reassuring volume. Next was a study. With this from outside, it looked like my parents were here. Once again, I went through the house, checking to see if there's anything I left unlocked. When I saw the veranda and the laundry still hanging there, I went pale. That would have made it too obvious. I needed to take it down. I snatched the laundry haphazardly and erased all trace so my mother wasn't there. It should be fine by now. Ah! The garage! They hadn't gone all the way to Tokyo, but they'd gone up to the Okinomiya station. The garage is empty, wide open in plain sight. This is not good! I panicked and rushed out to the back and closed the normally open garage door. It should be fine now. I needed to get the paper. My mom always got the paper. Since I left in the afternoon, the evening paper was still out there. My premonition was correct. I pulled out everything from the mailbox, dropped it off in the entryway. With this for sure this time, I should be fine. Close the door, bitch. See, that gave me more fright than this, than, like, anything else, was him leaving the door open. I was like, oh, something's gonna step in. Cupboard busted like that. It was a little freak out. It was kind of bad. I'll just say I tripped and fell. The bat I was holding smashed into it. Should clean it up. It's gone the phone ring again. This is my Ibarra residence. Oh, this is Keiichiko. Is your mother around? She isn't here at the moment. You idiot, Keiichi Maibara. Don't reveal your parents are gone. You can still follow up. I think she'll be back soon. It wasn't a good response either. Now they might just call again, or have to tell her to call back when they're gone, blah, blah, blah. Then that's fine. It wasn't really anything important. Well, then sorry for the bother. The scenario I feared didn't play out, eliciting a sigh of relief. That call was fortunate in more ways than one. I'd have to deal with the telephone calls coming in from my parents tonight. I was somehow able to deal with the phone calls now, but I wasn't able to rely on such poor improvisation. I needed to make up a good story to explain why my parents weren't there. They were making tempura and couldn't step away night now. That wasn't good enough. They were sick and went to bed because they weren't feeling very well. Was that going to be safe enough? Thinking about it on the way back to my room when the phone rang out once again. It was as if they were calling because they knew I was going to lie. I didn't want to pick up, but I knew I had to. I suspect my parents weren't there. I should just have taken the phone off the hook under the pretense that I didn't realize that it was, but since the phone rang out again, I had to pick it up. I prepared myself and lifted up the receiver. Hello? I stopped announcing that this is my Ibarra residence. I had no reason to be someone who didn't know the identity of. Unlike my uncouth voice, the person on the other side sounded goofy and lighthearted. Hello, my apologies for calling so late. This is Oishi from the Okinomiya bookstore. Oishi-san! Is that you, my Ibarra-san? Good evening, to hear that you're doing well. Wait just a moment, please. I grabbed the portable handset and rushed off to my room with it. It was the same no matter whether I was here or no one was home. I wanted to be in a spot that just felt a bit safer. See, he says it felt a bit safer, but I don't get that. I thought the whole point of Dana being there listening to the phone call was meant to make him feel unsafe in his room. This game sucks. Sorry for the wait. How are things? Anything changed since then? When was that exactly? Last time I spoke was 2 days ago. Stayed from school. After that, Dana and Mion. So Oishi-san, they were always in about it. It's a better tactical spot than the kitchen. I guess if it's upstairs, then yeah. Today's phone call, maybe we'll be found out about them by now. Can you hear me, my Ibarra-san? Huh? Sorry. What did you say? I asked if anything's changed since last time. There wasn't an answer, so I got a bit worried. Not really. The words stopped in my throat. There was tons of stuff that happened, all of it baffling. What should I talk about? I didn't understand any of it, but I should try asking. If I didn't ask now, I might never have gotten another chance. This night when my parents weren't home, I had no guarantees that I would make it through the night safely after all. Well, Oishi-san, it seems that someone is after me. Really? It could just be a coincidence, but I missed school. 2 of them came to check up on me. Which 2? Dana and Mion. They started asking about whether I had lunch with you. What next? They left me with some mochi. There was a needle inside. I didn't swallow it. I wonder if that could have just been a threat. About the needle. It was just one of those common sewing needles you see all the time. There was a hole to thread the string through. Not that Mahabata, the needle itself. That's evidence. It could be used as proof that they threatened you. Yeah, why didn't he think about this? Actually. He's thinking about everything except, like, how to fucking prove that they're actually cuckoo bananas trying to kill him. Where's that needle? That's right. That's it! I dropped the receiver and rushed downstairs. When I tossed the mochi, I overlooked but the valuable piece of evidence. I had certainly thrown the mochi and the needle. See, he's not thinking with like a fucking I'm about to be murdered mindset, really. Like, if I'm about to be murdered, I'm collecting all the evidence I can. I'm like fucking making like fingerprints out of ink and like putting my hair in bags and stuff and like putting it in a little pile and then like putting a fucking Dunkin' Donuts gift card all in one table and just write it like, for the police. For the police, and the little Dunkin' Donuts gift card will motivate him. Right, a stretch. If it was there, it'd be on the living room wall. Why are we to assume that Mom didn't... What? Prudent mother. Yeah, she cleaned it. Frantically searched, nothing came up. I really don't like the I hope they offend my death prioritizing. It would rather set up a Home Alone trap network. Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. Like, if I'm about to die, I'm gonna make it everyone's fucking problem, bro. You gotta work for that, bitch. It's probably in the trash. Then he's gonna go out and he's gonna look at the trash. It could be in the trash bin in the kitchen. Yeah, he's gonna go out and rummage through the trash and then he's gonna get kidnapped. But even at a glance, I could tell this would be incredibly difficult. I was looking at a needle in a trash stack. I know. I'll try running my hand through it. It was a bit gross, but I was looking for a needle. If I saw a prick. First, filth flew out. Nothing disgusting. I wanted to search more thoroughly, but I was on the phone. Couldn't she push? So I'll get back. I have to ask you if there's a needle. Scribbling, notepad. Was there a needle? I scrawled the words with red pen, and I dashed upstairs. Hello? How did it go? I couldn't find it. I was getting really overwhelmed back. I see. Then it would be great if you could find it. Keep it safe. That's right. The needle wasn't the only incident. I had to tell him about this morning with the hit and run. Also, did you see the license plate? I can search it from here. Damn! Yeah, literally, like, the first thing I think about is get the license plate. Like, he was fucking running after them and he saw the car. Again, this dude sucks. I remember the license plate of people that cut me off, dude. Get you, idiot! You're not trying to avoid being murdered. Literally everything you could have possibly done. Tunnel vision from fear when a car nearly hit... Yeah, listen, I've literally nearly been T-boned and I remember the fucking license plate. That's just like the first thing you do. I don't know. Am I constantly preparing for the worst? Perhaps. Well, failures on my part. I was so focused on protecting myself. I punched my pillow, annoyed at how worthless I was. The car did hit him. Did you get the license plate? Right now? On the fucking car? No. I don't know. It was a white van. Oh, that was gray. Nothing to fret about. Anyone would be shaken up. I guess some of this isn't really a coincidence, is it? Him and her over the other end. And also, when he's pulling off and you're still, like, kind of reeling from the shock, that's still enough time to be like, wait, shit, the license plate number. Because that's, like, the one thing. He was thinking of chasing after the car because he would recognize it. Like, so he was in a sound state of mind to know that he could get revenge on the car, but he didn't get the license plate number? You were stupid! Bro was asking to be murdered at this rate. Also, Dana's acting strange. Not everyone is as smart. Yeah, I know. I would be a great horror protagonist because I would not die. Dana knew what would happen to Satoshi. She knew. See, I feel like 80% of horror is scary because, like, the protagonist is completely inept. There are a million things he could have done to, like, put himself in a good fucking situation. Literally run away. Like, if you are about to be murdered because everybody in this town is a whack job fuckstick, take your parents' wallet, take all the money they have out of it, take a bus all the way into the city, get a part-time, fake your age, get a part-time job, be homeless for a bit. It's better than being dead. It's better than being fucking dead, bro. Wasn't more to it than simply Dana knows. She knows something regarding what happened to Satoshi, the kid who was demoned away last year. Dana said I was in the exact same as Satoshi. She said it to the effect that if the way things are going, I'll end up with the same fate. Fate, you say? Exactly what kind of fate would befall you? Transferring out, she said. Transferring out. Dana said Satoshi transferred out. I'll transfer out too. Stern sigh. Some sort of threat, or maybe some sort of warning. I thought so too. At that point I started to think, would it be prudent to sum up everything? Yes, I know. Which is which? There's the Yashido-sama's curse, or Dana's the sussy baka imposter among us. I wanted to hear about Dana. I wanted to... Not that. I wanted to know the truth. Tonight I was alone in this huge room. Even I couldn't... A malicious person decided to brute force it, easily gain entry. There are no other residents close to Mayabara. Nobody... Like, just call the cops. Temperament. The house is built. I wonder... Oh! I have something I wanted to ask about. Please don't keep anything from me. Dude! Someone's ringing the fucking doorbell! God damn! See? Again! Incompetent! Fucking incompetent. The fact he didn't hear Dana coming into the house and his dad, like, bringing up the tea and cookies? Incompetent. This guy is begging to get murdered. About Dana. About what happened at her previous school. Actually, regarding Dana. I noticed a sound that had been going on for quite a while. Since I was so focused on the call, I hadn't been... 7. Past the time. I wondered. That would ruin all the work. I answered the door. Hello, Mayabara. Sorry, someone seems to be at the door. A guest. I see. My apologies. Should be on this phone call. That would be a problem. No, I'll be back in a second. Do you mind if I leave the phone on? It's fine. I don't mind. I dropped the phone set and rushed to the door. I needed to make up a good excuse to get them to leave. I had a hunch it was the lady who called right before I sounded. You'd normally give up and go home, wouldn't you? Without removing the chain, I opened the door slightly and peered out at the visitor. A chill ran down my spine. I knew it. Somewhere deep inside, I'd prepared for this moment. I tried to escape by imagining it was the person. It's Dana, we know. Good evening. Dana. There shouldn't be any reason for Dana to come over at this hour. Timing also made me feel uneasy. Just because I was about to ask about Boy's son about Reina, I could have chalked this up to mere coincidence. But those unsettling words from Mion several days ago echoed back to me. There's nothing this Oji-san doesn't know. Is this phone tapped or something? Are you alone, Dana? Yeah. It seemed that Mion wasn't with her, but that didn't change the situation at all. Why did you come here? Hey, Keiichi-kun. I'd like you to open the door so we can talk. Can I come inside, I wonder? I wonder? It was true that speaking through the chain door wasn't the right way to talk to a classmate, but at my house the chain has to be on at night. Don't worry about it. Then it can't be helped, I guess. Dana pounded rather sadly. But she kept smiling at least. Her efforts to keep that smile on was quite pitiful. Even though she was tugging at my heartstrings, I won't lower my guard. As long as I stayed like this, even if it made my heart ache, my life wasn't in danger. What I really feared more than the possibility hoodlums would assault me if I removed the chain was trusting Dana enough to remove the chain and having my friendship betrayed. I'd invite her in? Yeah, it's your cuckoo bananas. As long as the chain wasn't unlatched, even if it made my heart ache, I wouldn't have to deal with being betrayed. Why do we have to have a whole fucking monologue about whether or not we're removing the chain? It's literally the safest option, and he is correct by not removing it. End of story. Have you eaten yet, Keiichi-kun? No, I haven't eaten. Since my mom wasn't there, dinner wouldn't be ready no matter how long I waited. I laid down when I got home, was woken up by the phone, and didn't have a chance to eat. I was going to have a cup of noodles. No, not yet. What about it? Been good. Look here. I brought a bunch of dishes. Dana handed out a stack of boxes wrapped in a cloth. If I could use your kitchen, I could heat up the miso soup and other stuff. It's fine. You don't need to do that. But there's a lot of tofu and vegetables in it. Does Keiichi-kun not like that kind of stuff? I wonder. Didn't you say you'd let Dana kill you? That is besides the point. When in a horror game, we need to be concerned with survival. Okay? It's a poison bento. It's a bento with needles. Bitch, you fucking put needles in my food. Just say that. Love miso soup. Right radish, carrot, burdock root. Yeah, that miso soup looks incredible. I also bought rice, so if you microwave it, you can eat it really quickly. Without a doubt, rice needs miso soup. Stuffing rice on your gullet, sipping miso soup in between ravenous bites. Oh, how wonderful it is to be born Japanese! Oh, and I also made some more pickles. I made zansai pickles this time. Before I had moved here in Namizawa, I scoffed at the vegetables called zansai. I wonder I was captivated by the charm the first time I tried them. Microwaving rice? Well, to heat it back up is fine. Preheated rice is fine. Such a deep, light, yet light flavor. She grows the cucumbers and pickles them. I think that what happened at the beginning of the game. She gave us the pickles she made. Yeah, to describe them. Okay, do we need to have a whole fucking monologue about the pickles when there is a creepy yandere GF at the door trying to give us food, and the last time she gave us food there were fucking needles in them? Like, do we need to fucking... I'd go so well with that fluffy white rice. Oh my god. 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 Delicious. It just seems so delicious. Dana is in good spirits. Stress evaporated. There it is. So he's stupid. That moment a cold chill ran down my spine yet again. I don't understand why the sensation occurred then, but the voice inside me was sounding the alarm. This happy Dana speaking with charming dinner was dependent on one premise. Dinner hadn't been made, meaning it was under the assumption that my mom, who wouldn't be making it, wasn't there. At any normal household, 7 o'clock would be around the middle of dinner time. If my mom was here, we'd be eating dinner around this time as well. The fact she brought over, yeah, she already knows. She knows everything. Nah, wasn't that implied earlier, though? Like, you don't... Okay. This is my problem with the writing, is you could simply say, wait, hold on. Why did Dana bring over all this dinner if... Like, why did Dana bring over all this dinner if my mom was here because we'd already be eating dinner? Isn't that weird? Like, you don't need a whole fucking paragraph. Dana, did she know that my parents were at home? Yes! Yes, she knows! Oh my god! Turn on the lights. There's a chance Dana was unsure. I had to wonder. Laundry, garage, evening paper. Plenty of signs that I hastily... There's no reason for me to confess that. I tried holding on to the fact as long as I could. First of all, the chain was still latched. Okay. His future mother-in-law. I'm quite grateful, but dinner will be ready pretty soon. Huh? Is that so? Is that so? そういうことかな? I know you went through the effort and everything, but, well... But some of this could work as side dishes, I think. Some of this could work as side dishes, I think. I'm sorry, we have more than enough already. My mom always makes quite a few side dishes, so... Huh? You have side dishes? With a smile that bordered on cringe, I dodged it. Cringe! But with the feeling, I spoke as my mom. Dana was talking as if she was aware. As is aware of it as well. So Keiichi-kun can cook. What did you make, I wonder? No, it's not that. Dana had assumed out of nowhere I made the dishes. No, that my mom hadn't made the dishes. Did you really make them? The side dishes? Did you, Keiichi-kun? It wasn't me who made them. My mom did. She's making them. Right now. So you see, I'm sorry, but I can't eat what you brought. Dana fell silent at that moment. At that moment, I felt the light had suddenly disappeared from her eyes. How about I try guessing what Keiichi-kun's dinner will be? It doesn't matter what I'm gonna eat. Let's see. The conversation might appeal natural, but Dana was firmly in control. It was like I just shut the door. If it's that big a deal, just shut the fucking door, bro. Your dinner, I wonder, is it something that can be made with just hot water? See, his phone is tapped. His phone is tapped. His phone is tapped. We'll just accept the food. Yeah. Just take it, bro. Just be like, thanks. Thanks. So the last time I ate something of yours, it almost killed me. Like, why can't he just say that? And just hide in his house. Forever. Just become a neat ch1 my bara. Your dad's an artist. Just, thanks, but I can't eat in front of a lady. Well, they already had that picnic together, so that can't work. I can't believe you belittle my mom's extravagant dinner like that. Tickets sold out. Full capacity already. It's that amazing. I tried my best to put on a strong front. So instead I looked like someone who was borderline hysterical. But Dana showed no reaction whatsoever. Ch1, does your mother really leave you dinner? No, you see, she didn't leave me dinner. She's making it right now. It's almost time for dinner. Dana had taken that assertion that my mother was making dinner and was completely ignoring it. Hi, does WZK. Welcome to the stream. Dana could tell that the more I panicked, the Hey, Ch1. Uncomfortably chill. Is your mom home? I wonder. Okasa-san iru kana? Kana? Dana, she knew full well my parents were no. His phone is tapped. His phone is tapped. Come too far, parents. I answered. I told her she was here. She's here, of course. Humidity. And his eyes were becoming even more frigid, piercing me with their gelid glare. Why? What do you mean? I tried acting casual. Or maybe... there's just no car in the driveway. No, because the car's in the garage. We already went over that. Maybe because the village was trying to get his parents out of the way. So, like, they called him out. But I'm, like, 80% sure the phone is tapped, and that's why... That's why she knew about the... instant dominant. That look informed me of Dana's response. Why have you been lying to me, I wonder? Nande uso tsuki kana? Kana... I'm not lying. It's a lie, isn't it? It's not a lie. Lies! Dana's outburst sent a jolt through my body. Dana and I were still separated by a few inches, slightly ajar, but that still Chain could afford. Despite that, I was being cornered. My house, which I considered safe haven up until now, looked more like a dark alleyway where no one could save me. Which of these names do you prefer for a puppy, Candy or Lily? Well, Candy sounds like a 6-year-old's name pick, quite frankly, or a stripper's name, so Lily. Shall I get you dinner, Ch1? Let's see. I knew that Dana had already known my parents wouldn't be here tonight. Even if she somehow knew my parents were at home, there'd be no way she'd be able to guess what I'd be eating. Well, I mean, it's pretty obvious that if you can't cook and you're alone that you just heat up cup noodles. It's not that crazy. Candy because of like an old 70s anime? Well, I like the inspiration, but if you tell people your dog's name is Candy, it's gonna be like, oh, did your daughter name it that? The more you play this, the closer it actually sounded like Dana. How could she know? Cup noodles. That's right, isn't it? That I was going to eat. The cooking repertoire of a man whose housework is probably nothing but cup noodles after all. Looking at this statistically, name your dog tax evasion 4. I didn't mean she was I don't think you'll be full with just noodles. I think having rice and stuff will definitely hit the spot. This was just a coincidence. She was inferring what I was thinking, but it wasn't as if she was reading my mind. It was being read. Then she was a demon. No, not a demon. Things like that. They couldn't possibly exist. Do you like them? Do you mean noodles? No. Eh? What does that mean? Why is it blurred out? N-E-E-D-L-E-S? Needles? Dana indicated the point in my answer. Dressing was wrong. Needles? Her rebuttal was so short. Sorry, Dana. What did you say just now? Huh? About what? Just now you asked me if there was something I liked, didn't you? Wanted to name her Saya, but my family doesn't want more weeb names. Saya, are you naming her after Saya no Uta? Because that's fucking evil to name your cat Saya. Name it something that sounds like a normal name, but it's actually a weeb name. So I wasn't able to comprehend it. Pork bone and ginger. Yes, the phone is tapped. Oh my god. Saya, after the girl from Little Bustard. Okay, my first thought was Saya no Uta, and I was like, you're a fucked up person. Sorry. You know what they say about assuming? It makes an ass out of you and me. So I was able to recover. Field of vision. Why do you know that? I didn't even deny it. That was the type of frenzied state I was in. How could Dana even know this? Gaze on Dana. She's got fucking CIA technology at her disposal. Your phone is being tapped, bro. You're fucked. They're listening to all your calls. Or maybe, like, whoever controls the cell phones in the area, like, can, like, I don't know how cell phones used to work back then. Didn't you have to, like, redirect calls? So maybe somebody's, like, redirecting it. I don't know. I certainly did buy them. I bought a bunch at once. I bought a whole case. How could you know that? Why, I wonder. Quite strange, isn't it? Isn't it? Okashi kana? Kana? How could you dodge the question at a time like this? The chain and the door were suddenly no longer protecting me. How do you know? Why do you know? Answer me! You bought them at 7th Mart, didn't you? A shiver ran up my spine. Well, yeah, now everybody is watching him. Cell phone's not here. Well, yeah, there's like landlines and stuff, right? You need to tap the line if you just crouch beneath the kitchen window. That's true, too. But, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, why do you know that? I was behind you, following you the whole time. What are you saying? Oh, so that, like, thing where she's concealing her footsteps behind him kind of thing? Like, she's always been doing that. And he was only just now being able to pay attention to it. Right? That's because Dana was right behind. Keiichi-kun's back. The whole time. Like that night? And I was absorbed in my phone conversation with Oishi-san. I didn't even sense her being there. When Keiichi was picking out noodles, I was watching the entire time. You picked out so many different flavors, didn't you? And your mom got angry. If you're going to pick the expensive ones, you should just pick one type, she said. And Keiichi-kun picked out a big box of pork bone and ginger flavored he loves so much, didn't he? I like it too. Pork bone noodles. But I can never eat a whole big bowl myself. My brain was paralyzed, dulling my senses. With the fear being diminished, the fog enveloping my mind was cleared away. No, I think it's normal. Most people like yandere girls, I think. Kana? Kana? Yandere no koto suki? Kana? Kana? And I could understand Dana and her words. Even so, my fear hadn't subsided completely. Wait, I tangled up my yarn. Fuck, I wasn't looking at it and I tangled it up. I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna cry. Code red, 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 code red. Okay, wait, no, maybe that's fine. Oh yeah, we're fine, we're fine. Even so, my fear hadn't subsided completely. It was like I was standing at the edge of the cliff, my eyes closed so I wouldn't have to look down. But it didn't solve any of the problems. I took a step backwards. As I withdrew, Dana advanced. So, Keiichi-kun, can you open this? We can eat dinner together. I'm sure it's going to be delicious, so... Okay? My knitting while I'm narrating. I'm crocheting, but yes. Dana's pale, slender fingers squirmed through the crack of the door one at a time, as if they had a mind of their own, rattling at the chain. Don't let her touch that! If she unlatched the chain, a feeling of terror would have exploded within me, but Dana didn't do that. She was simply imploring me to remove it. She was doing her hardest to light the fuse in the powder keg in my heart, trying again and again. Clatter, clatter. But it doesn't light. It doesn't light! Open up. Keiichi-kun. Please go away. I beg you, please, go away! How can you say something so mean, I wonder? I wonder. Please, go away! Go away! Go away! The powder keg inside me finally went off. No smoldering, it just exploded. I tackled the door. The force of the door had knocked Dana momentarily off balance. I couldn't hesitate here. I grabbed onto the doorknob with both hands, planted my feet firmly, and pulled with all my might. That slamming I so desired didn't happen. I could feel a tiny bit, disturbing resistance, keeping the door from closing. Hi, Devastator. Welcome to the stream. Then that source was Dana's fingers. Each of those fingers wriggling, squirming around the tendrils of a carnivorous plant through the crack in the... Ow! Wouldn't that hurt? It hurts. It hurts, Keiichi-kun. It hurts. It wasn't a harsh shriek, but more of a yelp she was trying to bark. Go away, go away, go away. I kept on pulling the door with all my might. I didn't even realize that if I wouldn't loosen my door, at least momentarily, Dana wouldn't be able to pull her fingers out, and that's why the door wasn't even closing. It really hurts, Keiichi-kun. I'm sorry if I was messing around too much. I didn't care one bit for her apology. No matter how much she apologized, it didn't change any of what she said up until right now. It didn't change anything. It hurts. It hurts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go away. Go away. Go away. Dana couldn't leave even if she wanted to because I trapped her fingers. Dana's white fingers became deep red as they were no longer even squirming. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go away. Go away. Go away. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Dana's apologies were occasionally twisted with pain, but like a broken record, she was intent on repeating it over and over again. Go away, go away, go away. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it! I pulled on the door even harder. Finally, Dana's fingers were somehow able to escape from their imprisonment in the doorway. The moment it happened, the door closed soundly. I could hear the thud of Dana's falling on her butt on the other side. I locked the door immediately. It made a sad clunk, loud clunk, voicing my rejection to Dana. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Keiichi-kun, I'm sorry. Open up, Keiichi-kun. Dana leaned against the door, apologizing profusely and nothing else. After confirming that I was sufficiently sealed off from her, I trudged away from the entry. On the other side, I could still hear Dana echoing her apology. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Those pitiful words. They would forever be seeking my forgiveness. I didn't feel bad about this at all, but it wasn't sort of out of any sort of malice. I just felt a sort of hazy relief that I was able to escape from Dana. Before Miona threatened me in the story, saying there was nothing she didn't know, and just now at the same place, Dana told me the same thing. My feeble attempts to disguise the fact my parents were at home had served no purpose from the start. I should have just pretended to be out and not even opened the door. My meager plans hadn't helped at all. In Hinamizawa, it was impossible to outwit them. Even though I was on the other side of the door, I wanted to get as far away from Dana as possible. One step, two steps, each with another. Her sniveling apologies became more resistant. I had sprinted upstairs and dove into my room. As you would expect, I was finally no longer able to hear Dana repeating her endless apology. Diving into my bed, I was startled by the hard lump I felt. There was something in my bed? It was just the receiver. I finally remembered. I was in the middle of a call with Oishi-san. Looking at the clock, not much time had passed since I went downstairs. Could it be my clock ran out of batteries? I talked with Dana so long. How did almost no time pass? But the time on the clock was ticking forward 1 second as usual. As I put the still warm receiver to my ear, time which felt frozen began moving once again. Hello, Oishi-san? Sorry to keep you waiting. No, not at all. I didn't wait that long. It became apparent the amount of time that had passed between myself and Oishi-san was different. Over the phone I could hear the energetic voice from a sports program. Dana came just now. Did she come to play? I wasn't confident that I could coherently explain the situation. I didn't know right now. I needed to know about Dana. That's right. I was planning to ask Oishi-san more. What was true and what was false, I couldn't tell. Easy, already on the phone with the... Yeah, like... You already did it. You already won. You're on the phone with the cop. You could just scream upstairs, but he'd probably forget, huh? なんか忘れた。忘れた。安いかもね。忘れること安いな。だから、落ち着いてね、ケイチ。Till now, not knowing, rock bottom, no possible way, no rather, couldn't regret. I thought he already knew everything. If I had to guess, these aren't his actual classmates. They might be. He's just cuckoo bananas. I don't think that they're like impersonating Dana or anything like that. Don't skim too quick. Okay. Forget about tomorrow. It wasn't the realm of possibility. I'm still reading it, right? I'm still reading it. I read really fast. Please trust me. I read like super fucking quickly. It's just that reading it out loud takes more effort. Want to know everything. Not gonna die like this. No, knowing I definitely won't. Writing Dana Ryuga. Did a bit of digging. Wasn't much. Understood Oishi-san was talking in circles. Took so deep it'd be hard to find discuss with you since you're her friend. I want to know everything from your research. Oishi-san. I spoke as calmly as possible. Then I said it. I think Dana Ryugu's suspicious. See, okay, what I don't get from this picture is like, do you see in the background it kind of looks like there's just like a window to the outside? I don't know. I guess it's on the second floor, but it looks like ground level to me, just the way the trees are. Dana Ryugu is involved. have some sort of proof? Do you have some sort of proof? He was talking to me like a detective. Could have a balcony. Could be on a hill? Yeah, that too. Circumstantial. Playing on a debate, disappointed. You can't do anything without physical proof, can you? So Oishi-san loved the roundabout ways of saying things. He understood me just fine. I'll protect you. That was not the least bit reassuring. Continue his investigation. That's all I was to him. Whether I'm alive or dead may be of no concern, but it's all over for me if I die. Slightly silent. I may have been too blunt. I didn't care. All I needed is to relay. So please tell me. Tell me about Dana. Satoshi transferred out. His phone is tapped. Why is he still trusting his phone if Dana knows literally everything? Like, if he keeps digging, then he's surely going to die. So, I don't know. Not too far. Transferring out. Found my corpse. You haven't been able to sign Satoshi's body yet. Yeah, my baraku. Ochitsuite kudasai. Passive agitation. Solve anything. Least bit want to know. The phone tapping is... My impression is that... The phone tapping is too modern for the setting. Yeah, but I don't know. You're aware that this won't be very interesting, right? Right now, to me, there's nothing I find uninteresting. Please. See, the creepy music started, so clearly it's gonna be interesting. Especially given the scene of Dana standing outside the door last time. Yeah, okay. Okay. Please keep this confidential. Part of this may be speculation. Not all of it may be true. Are you still interested? There isn't one investigation. Each is treated as its own individual case. Dana has never been linked. Wiretapping has been around since 1895. It'd be 90 years old at the time of higurashi. Yeah, but like, is that technology readily available to like the layman? Kind of thing, I think is what Butters is trying to say. I feel like it could be if this town is so cuckoo bananas that they have the ability to twist the police around their finger and have them drop all these. Who says it's layman? Yeah, exactly. I mean, the likely outcome is more... It being the likely outcome is more modern? It's easy to wiretape if you wanted to. Yeah, I mean, we don't really know what kind of phone he has anyways. Sena... This is an investigation. Personal inquiry is what you're telling me. All of it's from phone calls, meetings, and interviews. They're not corroborated. Take this all with a grain of salt. You have an agreement. My apologies for my personal investigation. Dana's chart. Yeah, she sounds for... I'm still reading, by the way. I'm just not reading it out to you. Because I don't think it's that important. Finally open those tight lips. It seemed that Dana lived in Hinamizawa a long time ago. She moved to Ibaraki. We already know this. Then following that, right after transferring. Maybe there's a crawl space under the kitchen floor. They're in your walls. Apparently there was a case like that on the island I live on in Hawaii, where like somebody was just straight up living in the crawl space of this house these people bought, and they stole this guy that was like living in their crawl space, like stole his uncle's cat. It's fucking terrifying. Really, 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 truly a scary thing to think about. Just somebody literally living in your walls. Dana confided to the doctor. Yeah, this is like, I already knew all this. What part did you investigate? And transferred. Gave votes to the doctor afterwards. What happened to the cat? The cat got back to whoever owned it, because they were like reached, because like it was in the news, I guess, and then they like showed the cat to the people who were like filming the news report. I think his name was like Sandwich or something stupid. It was a dumb name. And then they came and they took the cat. They were like, oh, that's my cat Sandwich or whatever the fuck. You started suspecting Dana. Yes, I did suspect them, so... Oishi-san was the type of person to say things with confidence. Then who did you suspect? That it was Oyashiro-sama, huh? But Oyashiro-sama's curse really exists. Yeah, well... But he said he didn't believe in it. What are you fucking... Oh my god. Why is this game walking me in so many goddamn circles? I feel like I'm gonna combust. Dubious. Rain has passed. Thundering in the distance. Heavy rain. Came down without warning. Rain so heavy it felt like it could beat you down. Left the window open. Why did he leave the window open? This fucking idiot. I said it at the beginning. Neither were involved. Was involved or reluctant to talk. Regardless. One eye beaten so badly it had permanent damage. Also, the psychosis was very... Curse is also affecting me too. Doyimi. She oyashi on my shiro tsurai-sama. Hello? Maibara-san, can you hear me? There was a figure of a person standing in the light by the mailbox this whole time. Even in the torrential rain, they didn't have... Like, is he surprised? They were uniquely, unquestionably drenched. Standing there, both arms dangling at her side. In one hand was a sack of boxes wrapped in cloth, her eyes focused on my room, focused on me as I was about to close the window. Her mouth methodically repeating, chewing motion. It was as if she had something hard to chew in her mouth, her cheeks puffing up in and out. Could she be eating over there? How could it be all this time I was more enthralled by Reina instead of shocked by the elements bringing light to some? If it hadn't started raining, I wouldn't have gone to the window. Then I wouldn't have known Dana, nor would I have noticed that. Dana's mouth was moving in the same pattern. She wasn't eating something, she was repeating something. What was it? What was she repeating? To me? What was she saying? And why was I, right up against the window, fixated on her? Hello? Maibara-san? Can you hear me? Hello? I'm sorry. Huh? Maibara-san? I'm sorry. 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 Also, she's repeating. Dana was still apologizing. The curtain hastily. Even doing that, Dana's relentless apologies still reached my ears. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I forgive you for this, will you forgive me for that? Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. I'm sorry. 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 Damn it. Why did I have to forgive her? I'm the one who wants to be forgiven. What part of me can't you forgive? I won't be killed. If you won't forgive me, then I won't forgive you either. I won't forgive. 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 Maibara-san. Please respond. Fucking skinwalker shit? No, I think she's just cuckoo bee nanners. What? That's it? Eh? Naze. She did just basically get her hand broken. I'd be rambling too. I'd be more mad than I would be sorry. How many more chapters are left? Is it gonna be like 2 more? もうすぐ終わるかな? 1, I think. 69. Shut the fuck up. 2 at most. 今日終わればいいのでしょうか? The final hour. Shit, I have work tomorrow, guys. Fuck. I wanna be done! I wanna be done! I just wanna know the end. 13 and Oikakushi. There's 2 more. Nah.終わりたい。もうすぐハロウィンかな。もう長いすぎる。I guess you won't be done. Damn it. I wanna know how this is gonna end so bad. I feel like it's building towards something cool and big. I feel like it's building something cool and big and cool and big and cool and big. It doesn't look like Casey's a bit dumb. I know, but I feel like it's building towards something cool. Theoretically, if I read really fast, can I speedrun it? If I read really quickly, can I speedrun it? Nah, because I want to stream scary games. I wasn't expecting this one to take up so much time. But if you do that, then chat might not follow. In theory, yes. Skip all the way through the animations and just read the log like a big book. JK. That would suck. The animations are part of it, you Goomba. Small stream tomorrow otherwise? Maybe just take a short break and then come back. Yeah, I guess we can do it tomorrow. I mean, I need to go to bed. I need to shower. I need to get ready for bed. It's bedtime for bears. I think there's too much left for work night, unfortunately. Yeah, I feel like it is. So I guess tomorrow we can finish. 明日、折れる言葉いい? 2-hour streams are good too if you want to relax and stream. But if you made an ASMR, like reading and such, I don't know how that would make it any different. I still have to go to bed all the same. I still go to bed like around this time all the same. It's still work night. There's lots of games I wanna play. We might not have time. What do you guys think about Outlast, by the way? Because someone in the Discord mentioned that it's like $2 right now or something. So I might get it. Read it from bed. My bed is a bunk bed. I can't get up to the bed. Outlast, it will wake you up. Yeah, I misunderstood the assignment. Oh, it's a proper jump scare horror game. Yeah. What do you think? It's very jump scare reliant? Well, yeah, but I feel like we've been playing a lot of, like, slow, psychological horrors, but maybe... I think Higurashi is better than Outlast. Well, we're gonna finish Higurashi, for sure. But I'm just asking you guys, like, what do you think if we streamed it after Higurashi? I'm asking... Like, I'm not saying, like, oh, I don't like this game, it sucks, I'm not gonna finish it. I wanna finish it. I wanna see where this is gonna end, okay? All the frustration I'm feeling is just because I want to get to that... I want to get to that sweet release, okay? I want the sweet release. The sweet release of death. It calls my name. Yeah. Honestly, I didn't like it, personally, but like the atmosphere. Play Fears to Fathom. Okay, but Outlast is like $3. Fears to Fathom, that sounds like it's gonna be a full price game. It's vastly overrated, but it's okay. Yeah, but it might be a good, like, Halloween night stream. Because I want to keep guys, I really want to keep streaming horror games. I think that's going to motivate me to stream. For $3, oh, it's okay. Yeah, I think for $3, it's going to be fine to stream. Nah? 大丈夫かしら? 大丈夫かしら? じゃあ... Let's go for horror casuals. I guess you could say I'm a bit of a horror cash, if you will. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely not a horror girl by trade. So, yeah, maybe we'll do that after we finish Higurashi. Because I still have, I want to know what's going to be more interesting for you. So I could do Outlast, but then I also have, oh shit, we needed to finish Hello Charlotte. Okay, we'll do that after Halloween, that's fine. But I still have The Witch's House, and then there was Phasmophobia, but I wanted to wait until, because David got it for me, so I'm gonna wait until he's able to play. Yeah. So I'm gonna wait until he's able to play. So we might still have some spooky games up on the table, even after Halloween. Will you do second of Arc of Higurashi for Halloween 2024? Yeah, we can do it every year, kind of thing. Or if I'm, like, really invested enough, then... we'll keep playing it after, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sounds good. That sounds good, right? See you in 8 years for the conclusion. Oh shit, isn't there like 14 other games in the 8 years? Alright, I guess I gotta keep streaming for 8 years. That's my promise to you. We will finish Higurashi. Maybe. Maybe. Once a year? Some komodachi oji-sans won't live long enough to see it through. That's true, I have to keep in mind that you guys are on a short schedule. 8 years is nothing if you really think about it. Yeah, totally. But then I'll be the oji-san. Nah. Oh, shit. That's terrifying to think about. The endless marches of time drag on, with or without our consent. And with that, I shall leave my komodachi. I will see you tomorrow, where we will hopefully be able to finish... What, that was 2 chapters in one day, right? I did 2 chapters today, I can do 2 chapters tomorrow. Maybe the horror was time itself. Final Fantasy on the shelf waiting. Oh, literally, I wanted to stream it the other day, then I was like, wait, shit, no, it's not time for that. Okay. We will finish Final Fantasy 7, I promise. I promised you, I promised, my promise. Okay, bye! I'm leaving you now. I'm leaving now, bye.